the worst games in any qualifier, and we are happy to be rid of him. And then some very choice words that I will not read on this broadcast. I'm so sorry to hear that, AUI. Condolences to you. And it looks like we have a response as well. AUI says, I have been kicked from Arkosh Gaming after losing TI qualifiers. I actually love people. Thank God I'm out.
Interesting. That tweet sounds a little familiar. I don't know. That's an interesting one for sure. My goodness. Yeah, leave it to them. Arkosh, the team full of demons. I mean, who would kick this guy after something like that? Can't believe it.
He wasn't demon enough. It's out of place.
That unfortunate for AUI. I'm so sorry. Condolences, or I guess you're happy, so congratulations. Either way, we still get to have him on our panels, and that's always a good thing for us. But game 2 of this series, which we have Lyrical and Fear for, thankfully, we will be back with this second game after this break.
life a better meaning. Let me stay where I
Welcome back, everybody, to the TI-10 North American Qualifiers. We have our last series of the day, but surely not the least, bumblbees versus Black and Yellow, and Black and Yellow managed to take game one with some excellent plays and perhaps a lack of game plays on Bumblebee's side. But let's see how this draft is going. I see Oracle. I like to see that. Oracle, Knoxville has said, is the most successful hero in the TI qualifiers. Happy to see it. Gentlemen, what do you think so far?
I'll take this one. It looks pretty good, you know. It's interesting always, the AA versus Oracle matchup. There's like this weird dynamic where it kind of becomes skill based, where the Ice Blast hits, which means you get no regen, but Oracle pops his ulti, which means that you get all of your regen at the end of the ulti. So if you can wait for the Ice Blast to wear off before the Oracle ulti will wear off, then you can save people with it. And then what it becomes is like, okay, who do you like? Can you catch the Oracle when he's out of position or whatever? But this Oracle DP has been like one of the strongest combos that we've seen for a while, and I feel like it tends to come down to like what are those supporting casts around it to try and punish it pretty effectively.
Yeah,
Oh, very
just
strong
testing
duo.
you there.
Okay,
Right on.
All right, he
Sick.
passed, right? 100%.
Nailed it.
I like it. Meanwhile, we see a little bit more of the same that we've seen in a lot of the series today. We have Lena, and we also have support favorite AA. And a lot of those bans on those carries also coming out as well. PL banned, Terrorblade banned, of course, and Medusa banned as well. No axe either, no carry axe, so you can rest easy, Lyrical. Yay! No carry axe.
Feel the blood pressure going down already. It's great.
No jug either. So I guess Bumblebees didn't want to deal with Black and Yellow's
It's your
Yamsons.
favorite. Fear, it's your
Yeah.
favorite.
So it's a good Spectre game so far, and a lot of the heroes that would out-tempo it are already banned. This is a very interesting dynamic to the draft because so many offlaners are banned, especially stun offlaners. Like the Mars is gone, Centaur's gone, Axe is gone, DK is gone. So we'll see what teams choose to pick. Like I guess there's still a Tide Hunter, but he's like a very long cooldown stun, and there's more niche picks they can go down, but most of those heroes require you to see something before you pick them. So this is interesting, and I do like the fact where the Bumblebees like are picking a save. I think this Oracle has been super underrated versus this AA. We saw other teams try like the Phoenix with the Ags, right, as a save, but it's very unreliable. It really depends on what the other team drafts. It looked amazing in one game, looked pretty bad in another game, right? But this is pretty reliable. But the Bumblebees, what they have done now is like they let the Nyx through, which is one of the best stuns in the game right now that is still in there. So they've picked 3 heroes right now that don't have a single stun right now, and they need to pick 2 stuns right now, and the hero pool is going to shrink drastically. So they're gonna get 1 good stun here. I don't know what it will be. Hopefully it's not Tide Hunter. I don't want to see a long cooldown stun on them, but they gotta pick it blind. Hoodwink's fine, and they're gonna combo it with, wow, the offlane pool is so tiny right now with all these bans, and there's gonna be, they're gonna pick an offlane on Black and Yellow now and ban 2 more. So Doom, that's a classic answer to Spectre. Like people pick this Doom versus Spectre because it doesn't really crush the Spectre in lane, but Spectre can't do anything to Doom in lane, so Doom happily maxes Devour and gets his Midas, and he is going to be top 1 net worth in this game, without a doubt in my mind at some point. So they're just like guaranteeing Doom has like a free lane. And they can even lane it with the Nyx, because I think Spectre's just like such a weak laner in this patch, especially Oracle not being known for his strongest laning. They might be able to get away with this double melee lane if they don't choose to put Doom mid, which I think Lena for sure is going mid, right, versus the DP. That'd make the most sense to me.
So the other thing that I'm seeing here too, right, is that you've got this like interesting dynamic where there's all these top tier carries that were left in the pool. I was anticipating Black and Yellow to take a Luna, and I think the fact that they didn't is maybe something what they feel about the matchup against Spectre potentially. But then the other thing is like just the heavy prioritization on the Doom, where they felt like that would get taken out in that last set of bans, and they feel like this is the hero that they want. It's a great answer against Spectre, whether you go for like the Aghanims, or I don't remember if the Shard still breaks or not, but regardless, it's still really good. The Infernal Blade against Spectre, and I feel like that might be one of the big things that like is sort of the winning maneuver here, is being allowed to have this Doom on black and yellow. Like as it stands right now, I just love this draft. The only thing that also maybe freaks me out a little bit is no save for the Lina. But if bumblebees don't get a good stun, then it might not matter, maybe you try and do something where you like stick DP off lane and take like a Puck or one of those other heroes. That's, again, Puck against Nyx. It's like, it's weird there too. I really like the black and yellow draft.
Really like that Sand King ban. They banned the Beast. I think Sand King was like the best point stun they could do. They went the Beast instead, so like what does that leave him with? Like a Tide Hunter, a Pango. Pango's not really a reliable stun, but it can do the job. They ran Earthshaker earlier today. Maybe they bring that back, and Tide Hunter could be an option. Maybe Slardar, I don't know. But they definitely need something that can like initiate the fights, because like Spectre doesn't want to just haunt. He wants to haunt after someone jumps in, and Bushwhack is not reliable at all. As far as black and yellow goes, yeah, they just need a carry now. They don't. He doesn't see their lane, yeah, so they have to pick a bit blind.
Surely just Luna. Surely. Everybody loves Luna.
Luna's solid, but it's a bad matchup for Spectre. Like it's just not good. So that deters a lot of players, but it depends on how stubborn they are with their hero pool.
Okay. What makes it a bad matchup against Spectre?
I mean, Spectre like just haunts by his Blade Mill and just gets on top of the Luna, gets a Scotty, and at some point like you will get out carried. It doesn't feel good. It's kind of like playing Luna versus Terrorblade, but I haven't seen Spectre have that much success in this patch because it doesn't really flash farm like a lot of the other heroes do, so I wouldn't hate the Luna. I think this is a very complicated pick for them because they need to pick something good versus DP that's going to be running in, as well as the Spectre, so...
They are running low on time. It seems like maybe they're trying to figure it out for themselves as well.
Yeah, there's not much. I mean, I don't hate Sven as well, but alright, they're just gonna go with the Luna. They're just gonna go with the standard. Even though it's not like good for Spectre, Spectre's a counter, they just want to pick the meta hero.
And if they mess up the Spectre enough in the laning stage too, you might just be able to stay a full item ahead of the spec anyways, and then like it doesn't really matter that much if you can sort of choke them out of the map enough.
They won't though, because their lane is so weak that their Doom will be more farmed than Spectre, but Spectre will also get her farm.
Okay.
So that's just kind of like, it's just a Doom Nyx lane. Like, what can you expect from that lane? It's
right.
The kill threat is very, very low. But yeah, you'll free farm on this Doom. As far as bEE's, they need a playmaker again. Like I stressed it last game, they need a playmaker.
You said that they are severely. Yeah, you said that they're lacking a stun. So, are they? What are they going to even pick up now? Lots of bans.
Tide, Pango, Slardar. Those kind of stick out to me as like potential options. If they don't want to get crazy and do like, I don't know what else, some CK or something. I don't know what he's going to pick here, but yeah, their options are limited. Legion?
A Legion?
Perhaps not a fan versus Luna, but it is a stun.
If you had to choose between Slardar or Tide, who would you want to pick? Because Tide is very cooldown dependent, right? So, who's better?
Yeah, but Slardar kind of needs to win his lane as like a general Dota hero, and it's going to be hard versus Luna plus AA.
I see.
So, I guess it's a Tide. Their options are quite limited here. So, whatever they're picking here, like they're really thinking about it, and maybe they go for something crazy. Right? They go for Legion. Like Legion has, in my opinion, has to have like a good game to be initiator. Otherwise, he turns into honestly kind of like an Oracle where he just sits behind and saves people. And I guess they have a ton of save for Roya, so there is that.
I mean, the weird thing about the Tide too is like then you just get doomed, right? And then you can't Ravage, and things could start looking a little bit funky there too. So I guess that they just felt like it was a weird pick overall and had to go for something, and then just put some hope in King RD being able to carry it for him. But I really like the black and yellow draft a lot. I think the Doom pick was superb, and Luna, we'll see if it carries them, if they can like sort of accelerate faster in the Spectre. It's going to be a tough one though.
What are your thoughts, Fear?
I like the black and yellow draft more. I think the bumblebees can win. They just have to execute, and Roya has to have a really good game. He's like the centerpiece of this whole draft, that he needs to get very farmed, and his support cast behind him can keep him alive to like keep pushing forward. So it's really up to his game being really good.
I see. So it looks like there's a lot on poor Roya's shoulders, and then I guess Elsie is going to try to make that make these plays happen, potentially with some blink duels. But I guess we'll see. I'm also a fan of Black and Yellow's draft, and also I just want to say before we get into the game that Lyrical, you predicted so many of the picks for this round. I was like mind blown. Like, you'd say something and then they would pick it almost immediately after.
I'm in the head of the losing team. I don't know if that's good or bad though, if we're gonna be honest.
No, it's really good. You predicted Black and Yellow's picks too. You predicted the
Fair
Luna.
enough.
So I mean, yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of good picks here. I do like Black and Yellow, but I do want to see a game 3 because I want to see this rivalry really like go out. You know, I want to see it go to its full potential and see more about the rivalry between Jubei and Eternal Envy, and see if Jubei can kind of up that number a little bit. But we will see as we go into game 2 of Bumblebees versus Black and Yellow. Fear and Lyrical, take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you, Sumi. For sure, we're already into this game, and well, I feel like a good way to sort of squash some beef or end the rivalry would be to end it on a 2-0 for Black and Yellow. That'd be pretty good storylines right there, Fear. I don't know how about you feel about that, but yeah, I mean, I feel like we sort of answered this during the draft, but do you think that Bumblebees have solved the problems that they had in their draft from last game, or do you think they at least have the potential to make some outplay maneuvers with this draft they've got now?
Quick answer, no, but I do think that this is the first unanimous panel towards one side or the other, so that team will probably lose, so looking like a 1-1.
Nice, well done. That's the classic. The caster curse is very strong, although Kyle is not on this panel. His energy flows through all of us. Sorry about that now as well, that you're involved in all this mess.
That's okay.
Yeah, sure
Yeah,
enough.
no, but for real though, I think the bEE's, like, yeah, Envy will get his farm in this lane. Doom will also get his farm, and this Legion's game, they need to outplay top, I think, pretty hard, because Legion Commander is not a hero you generally want to pick into Luna. It's a hard matchup. It's not really particularly good in the game either, but if he does have a good laning stage, I'm glad they at least went for a stun, you know what I mean? But it's might not be easy. Like, there's a reason a lot of people don't pick Legion right now. It's like it's kind of like a last resort kind of pick.
Right.
But it can be very good if it snowballs, I will say that.
Okay, that's fair enough. I guess the thing that I always am sort of curious about with Legion is like, if the partner is decent enough in the laning stage. Do you think Hoodwink like makes an okay partner playing with this Bladestone and just trying to like poke away at people? Like how do you see that one sort of working out as Yamsun? Actually takes a ton of damage there, and doesn't have a salve. I don't know.
Looks like he's lagging.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering, his movements looked really suspicious.
Yeah.
This is why they look suspicious.
That was
Yes.
maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's
This is
what happened in that
the
other series.
start you need.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Oh,
I mean, it's
Mr.
not his fault. Just kill him.
Not your fault, Luna's fault. Damn, Juve. Chill out a little bit, man. He's like yelling at his team.
Look, Z-Freak's like, he's still dying though. No mercy.
Nice. I like that. Blood for the blood god. All right. No hope at all of any of that stuff.
That's the caster curse right there. I said, like, it's a unanimous decision from the panel for once. And I said how important this Legion lane needs to win. And how it's not a good matchup. And here you go, first blood for free.
Damn, dude. That is a rough one to start the game. Luna just like standing in a creep wave dying. Dude, that sucks so much. Oh, can you imagine as like a player, you're like on the verge of going forward into the freaking like last day of TI qualifiers. Like I get pissed off when I'm in my pub games and like I have any issues. Like I can't even imagine how tilted you got to be in that. There's going to take some freaking mental strength to get over that for sure.
I mean, he's been disconnecting this whole qualifier. This is like just another day. But this must be a very annoying qualifier for them. And if by somehow they do qualify, that would just be a funny story. Like Yamsung just disconnecting through half the qualifier and still winning.
Right, oh yeah, doesn't Yamson only lag against us? I have to read this through the program feed because I still have all of them muted because of voice lines. But
is that like is he like accusing him of disconnecting for strategy?
I don't know.
What is that comment about?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird, right?
Unlucky.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on.
Unlucky.
Very unlucky.
That would be some ultimate strategy, just feeding to get some time to figure out your ultimate strategy for the game.
Jubei.
That's a weird champ for me.
A little bit, not gonna lie. It's definitely a little bit unfortunate. Danny Lowe, also. Who's Danny Lowe? What? Francisco. Oh, wait a minute now. Hold up. There's some big words being thrown out there, King RD. Chill out a little bit, mister. Holy moly.
What can you do?
Holy moly.
What can you do?
Right? Fair enough. Well, apparently what you can do is try and reconnect on Yamsun.
Oh, I think he's trying.
Here's a question.
Like
would you let Yamsun go? Would you let him go?
No.
Okay. I was hoping that you'd just be like, oh yeah, we let him go in the spirit of competition.
I mean, nah, that's like, it's too awkward already. It's better that he dies.
Okay, that's fair.
Got nothing. Like the competition's already like spoiled by him disconnecting like this.
Right.
To be totally real, but it's fine.
Okay.
He's just Luna, he's gonna farm.
Yeah, well, certainly not the start that you want, and definitely a great start for this dual lane. You said that Legion Commander lane needed to go well. Definitely a good way to make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of like last game where their biggest win chances was Yamsun just disconnected and come back. Some blessings on blessings here.
Yeah, for sure.
So like, what can... most curious about like this Doom lane bottom. So far, he's struggling more than I expect. Oh, he has a full wave. 2 waves, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering why he had no CS there.
Ooh.
One Devour going through. If they can't kill him under tower like this, which they shouldn't, he's got Fairy Fire. He'll probably stabilize.
Yeah,
And he's being a little aggressive.
Ah, that's a classic. Does get a deny there onto that range creep, and Zero able to find another one there. Nicely played. So yeah, he does get a little bit of pressure underneath the tower like you're talking about, but still a ton of XP for him, as that entire time Flea was staying outside of the lane, holding on to this water rune for his mid as well. So that's a really good win. Ooh, nice. You love to see the stacks.
You already know what's happening.
So 2 minutes in, nothing really to write home about except for obviously that disconnect, which was a little bit funky. We'll see if there still continues to be trouble for Yamsun. I'm also not sure if the pause time is sort of cumulative across all of the games, or if it's just reset for each game, as Moo and Flea are trading a couple hits there, trying to block off the stacks from happening. But we'll have to see.
Most tournaments I play, and it's like it refreshes every game.
Okay. Flea? Taking some more punches here. He's got to be careful. Moo does have another Purifying Flames, but not going to go for it. And just getting some confirmation as well from Sumi that yes, it is per game reset. So cool. That's the way it works.
That's good. I'd hate for them to like... I mean, he's not usually gone for too long where it's unreasonable. So I'd hate to just see it just be an auto loss, you know. Right. As soon as he inevitably will disconnect at some point in the series.
Well, again, down bottom, Moo able to get in range quickly enough to get that little side pull action working. 2 points up now into Devour for 0. And they will find a nice stun there, connecting onto both. Moo will be able to throw a little stun, or rather root back onto Flea afterwards. But at least for now, they're keeping some kind of good pressure down there on the spec and trying to find something on a Jubei. Won't quite be able to get it in time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because of disconnect or not, but this top lane, Luna's really struggling up here now. In a matchup where she generally should be fine. Yamsun is like not a hoodwink player because he is not killing those trees right there.
Yeah.
Normally whenever I play versus anything that uses trees, you know, timber, tree, or hoodwink, just start some deforestation over there. It'll help you out in the long run.
Yeah, he's starting to do it now, you can see.
Yeah, alright.
Made the change up happen as Oracle will die down bottom 0.
Wow.
Finds the kill. That's huge.
Yeah, that's not a lane you expect to get kills in when you draft it, so that's like very nice surprise.
Up top again. Yamsun getting gone on. Mr. King out underneath the tower. Comes in and kills the Luna. So again, this is what you said they need to do to find a way to win this lane, and they're doing it on the bEE's.
Yeah, mid lane too. Arroyo is also doing really well in this lane, so these are the 2 lanes that bE needs to just have a good start on.
Right.
And it's not only just a good start, but it needs like, I don't know what Legion's going to build. Probably a Blink, I hope a Blink, but they need to make some rotations like connect in this game too. That's like the second half.
Right. Yeah, that definitely, and that's something that like sometimes can be kind of hard to make work. I feel like where you know, you can get that blink dagger and maybe you don't have anybody to play with, and it's hard to find like a dual kill or something. But I guess you do have Z Freak in this game, and if you can get that level 6, you can play with the sharpshooter and just find a bunch of dual victories.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they have good damage. Oracle even does some good damage for the duel, and at some point when that's not enough, bottom lane though.
Trying to go again onto Moo, creep wave underneath the tower, but feeling that they don't quite have what they need to make this work, they are going to back out yet again. So Envy gets some more farm, another wave coming into him. He's actually been able to have a pretty good time so far. This is one of the better Spectre early games that I feel like we've seen, as he's trying to get towards this blade mill as quickly as possible.
Yeah, but as I was saying before, it's kind of designed like this. You're going to see Doom pull way ahead in net worth from the Spectre, but you can't really stop the Spectre either.
Whoa.
Whereas like a lot of matchups... Oh, alright. Good rotation. Did Hoodwink rotate to that? I didn't even see it.
I don't think so. I think he was just able to... Oh yeah, Hoodwink did. You're right.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, the Spectre is sort of going to be able to get the farm, but Doom will stay ahead of him, is what you're saying, basically, for a while here.
Yeah, just generally speaking, that's how it goes. Like, unless you play like some Ursa versus Doom or some Monkey King, it's kind of hard to kick him out, but Spectre just has no ability to stop him from farming, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's gonna get really farmed, but however, it's not a big deal. That's just what Doom does. What is a big deal, though, is Black and Yellow is losing their mid lane and their safe lane now. And it looks like it's pretty bad, especially in the safe lane.
Yes, that is for sure. Yamsun right now looking like he's hoping for some love from the neutrals, not going yet into any type of like Mask of Death or anything, but there's huge stacks built up for him. And we'll see when he wants to go back and try and take those. I'm assuming it's going to be him. He's like the only one that can really take them, is Jubei getting dove a little bit underneath the tower here. Do have level 6, so the duel is ready, as they've brought in Moo as well. Jubei trying to find an angle to get out of here, but it looks like he's going to be going down, and this should be a duel victory. King RD. Nicely played.
Exactly the start you want if you play Legion Commander. Sometimes it's hard to find this start, but he's got it in this game. It's perfect. Blade Mill already on Spectre, as you said, very farmed. This is like a super good timing for Blade Mill. Yeah. But Doom is still like 600 net worth ahead of the Spectre, so that's just the trade-off you do when you do Doom versus Spectre here. But it's going to be good for them, because Yamsung is not having a good one. Surprisingly, he put 2 points into the beam as well, so that's going to slow down his stack clearing capability. Wait, all the stacks are gone. Did Roya just take them?
Oh no, there's still...
Oh, they're still there, but they're about to be gone. Only the Ancients will remain after this. This is big.
I think that they took some of them on Black and Yellow. Did Roya take all? It might have taken all. Yeah, I guess so. Damn, that's big. Definitely. Getting some of those items along the way as well. But in the meantime, Black and Yellow doing some good pressure here onto this mid-tier 1 tower. And Flea is hanging out in the area, ready to show up and blow up anybody that happens to TP into this. They still have a bottled haste rune on Eskin. Now looking for King RD. Spots him, tries to find the stun. Not quite going to be able to find that one. Now instead, oh, the turn. Good LSA to buy a little bit of time, but it's going to be another dual victory. Yeah, that was a really good purge there. Take it off. But didn't end up translating into a kill onto Esk.
All this stuff matters a lot. These Legion, like, the biggest problem with this Legion is normally she doesn't scale because she doesn't get damage, right? But 20 dual damage for 10 minutes, really good game.
Definitely. Oh, Inspector got the chip vest. Nice. For
Feels
Envy,
good.
that's huge.
Midas coming out to Doom soon, but this Doom can't 1v5 this game. I'm sure he can.
Right.
So, Black and Yellow are off to an amazing start right now.
You think Black and Yellow are, even though Yamsun's kind of been
sorry,
struggling.
I meant
Okay.
bEE's, the other B.
Yeah, I was confused. The other Black and Yellow team.
Black and Yellow is not off to an amazing start.
Okay.
Spectre's free farm. Honestly, all 3 of their cores are free farm. Spectre's having the worst game on bEE's, but his game is still good. It's real good.
God, Yamsun really does need to get to a position where he can farm up those stacks, the ancients. Like, taking away the sort of regular jungle stacks definitely hurts because it's slowing down his ability to get to that next one. But like, if those ancients ever get stolen, that it's just feeling like it's game over almost at that point.
Yeah, I mean, Spectre could do it as well, and they could try to protect it with Roya's ultimate. It's definitely a possibility if they want to do it, but they could just let it sit there too and farm, which I think they probably will do. bE has not striked me as a team that likes to get super aggressive past, like, before 15 minutes, so we'll see.
Esk hoping to find Z-Freak. He's running up to the north, trying to catch him. Oh, Lena's so slow when you don't have that fiery soul going, so we'll redraw aggro over to the side here. Z-Freak knew that Esk was on his tail and will just back out afterwards. So Lena takes over this area of the map. Meanwhile, Jube is going to try and take over mid, and we've just kind of got one of these passive laning stays that we've seen so often, it feels like.
Yeah, both these teams, like, they're stacked gamers, right? So
Yeah.
if they get the farm stack, they get top at least. They get a
Well played.
quick kill on the little squirrel.
Yeah, just
They had to use Vendetta for that, so at least Envy feels safe.
Right. Yeah, that
So for
part
both
is...
teams, I would like to see some gank squads going out in the right directions. I'd like Flea to use his next ult to try and get Envy farming these stacks, and I'd like to see this Blink Dagger smoke connect on a Luna farming the opposite end of the stacks, right? That's a good way to punish, like, these AFK farming carries. Like, you know exactly where they're at. Like, it's no mystery, right? So you can kind of, like, figure it out and then make a plan and make it happen. They're doing a 2-man smoke right now with Moo and Mr. King RD, but I don't think they can break the triangle with only 2 heroes. They've got a half HP Spectre. Oh, Spec's making sure to heal and be healthy for this, so
that's good.
maybe that's what they need. And Jube doing what he does best, being a wall.
He's in position. Now, Yamsun is going to be able to finish off this first round, and they actually back off from that one, it looks like, after they broke on it. And that buys enough time. Does Yamsun try and take these ancients? This is kind of wild to me, that he's going to try and do this without Mask of Madness, but I guess he feels comfortable. Oh, there it is. Mask of Madness comes out right now, and that makes it a little bit easier for the Luna. This is so much. If she can get this for herself, absolutely critical for Yamsun's game. And nobody's coming.
The real breadwinner of this game is the Doom, though. Like, he's been farming the bottom half of the map for 13 minutes straight with Max Devour and a Midas. So he is massive. And if he continues to do this, which I'm sure he's fine with doing, he might want to use Doom right now. Well, maybe he doesn't even need, he doesn't even need to use it. But he's got a Blink Dagger now. And once he gets to his BKB, he's going to be really scary. But there's so much heal on the side of bEE's that it's not really a simple game plan for this Doom. He can like blink in and Doom Roya if he wants, which might be the best Doom target before Exo, but I don't know if they'll be able to kill him with the support of Legion and Oracle behind him. If Mu times his ultimate correctly, but we'll have to see. Maybe they can make some disturbance in the back with Flea and interrupt like some of the chain healing. So until then, I think he's just happy with farming until he feels like he's a little more unkillable.
That's always the big question, is like, can you get them to sort of bait out the false promise and throw out the Ice Blast afterwards? It's a big 5-man smoke now, and they're heading into the area where the rest of Black and Yellow is, and this is the Blink War Stomp reveal. They spot out one, looking for that bushwhack, not quite going to connect. So with the smoke breaking on both teams, this is where it gets a little bit awkward.
This is big if they get the Doom here.
Thinking about it, looking for that opening. King RD, they spot him. There's the duel. It's down. Haunt afterwards tries to kill him off, and they will. All it took was a moment, and now Eternal Envy trying to chase after Jubei. Is he thinking about taking this, really? I don't know about that one. Press the attack afterwards, takes off that stun, and the rest of Black and Yellow will retreat. So they lose the Doom at the start of the fight. Now going to try and turn this into a tier 1 tower take-in. Wait, look at this, though. Stun afterwards. Misses completely. Onto Z-Freak. Somehow manages to hit Envy, but another pause. This time, it's going to be on the side of the bEE's.
Yeah, I mean, good execution there. Like, this Doom is a really big kill. He's going to be a solid source of initiation for his team along with Flea, so if they jump him without him getting Doom off, they'll probably win every single fight.
Right.
And this Legion just had such a good game that this early Blink Dagger is going to do a lot of work for them. Absolutely. However, there is an opening right now. They did use Spectre ult and Exorcism, and they still have, minus like the small cooldowns like AA ult, like they have their stuff ready to go. Mainly just gonna be the Doom this game.
Yeah, that's something that I was curious about, how they try and make this move at this point. Like, do you think that it's worth it to try and go for like big smokes and, you know, involve Yamsun in that, or do you just sort of like let him AFK farm while the rest of the heroes run around, try and make plays together?
If they want to go for mid tower, then Yamsun has to be the one pushing towards mid. He probably doesn't feel too comfortable with it, even though they don't have ultimates, because he can still die. Duel is a low cooldown, and they also have sharpshooter, so they still have a lot of damage. He's too low right now, but I'd like for them to smoke up the Doom and try to find a pick off on someone farming, maybe the top lane up there. Maybe they can find a DP or a Legion up there and just get a quick kill right now.
Okay. Legion resumes. And there are 10 seconds left until Doom is back up. Also worth noting, we've got a couple of BKBs that are being built up and trying to be completed on both the Lina as well as the Doom. Luna, on the other hand, going back for that Dragon Lance first. So probably trying to play around an Aegis timing for her more likely than not. As are they going for a play now? Zero is sitting right on top of a ward and will walk away from it now. It looks like they're more comfy just hanging out, maybe heading towards mid. They get a ward back behind that tower now as well. So they got some good vision here.
Yeah, I'm really happy about Esk's item choices here. We watched earlier today, I think it was I Annihilate who went Yules in the straight MKB. It's just like, it is way more damage, but like, if you ever get stunned on this hero and you're not like, you don't have a BKB to like pop right after, there's no getting back into the fight. So I'm glad to see this adjustment in this game.
Right. King RD has that 30 damage, and the glyph will be used as Black and Yellow hang out on this side, know that there is no vision in the area, and if they can get this tower without having to bring Luna, and she can just farm up creeps, that's really great. As you can see, the farming meta is definitely real, as both of these teams, some of the top ones right there.
And Dying's killing it in the neutral zone.
Right?
Wow.
That's what they're about.
It's funny because they don't even pick like traditional like junglers in most of their game. I guess they did with Axe, but I saw like some Drows and Morphs Drafts they ran twice, which aren't nearly as fast as your Terrorblade, Luna, and Medusas, but still being efficient about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in this game, you've got, one hero that's traditionally known for being incredibly fast farming, but because of that rough early start to the laning stage, Yamsun still slightly behind, but the rest of the cores are doing really good. And Flea, trying to set up, he walks into a sentry ward, and now they find him. Another duel victory for King RD. 40 so far at the 17-minute mark. He's going to be hitting hard all game long.
Yeah, even though the net worth says that Black and Yellow's winning, I don't feel like they're winning at all in this game. And a lot of it's like inflated net worth by this Doom's Midas. And I don't feel like the net worth on this Doom this game, because of the amount of saves on bE, is going to be that effective. He's going to farm up this BKB, and it's really just going to be down to execution, and it's not going to be easy. Honestly, the execution is not easy. Whenever there's an Oracle in the game and you don't have like what I call good backline killers on your team, it can become very difficult to find this Oracle and stop him from doing what he does best. And that's just saving a single target. And Doom loves to kill a single target, so it's gonna be it's gonna be a nightmare for Doom to actually get a kill in this game, I feel, unless someone can take care of Mu.
Fair enough. It's definitely going to be tough. Granted, there is the team fight potential that you've got in this game as well. We just saw up there the Meteor Hammers. Flea caught again. Oh, a little bit of a kill there as they get another duel victory. And God, he is just getting everything that he wants right now on this Legion.
Flea's dead.
Oh, interesting. And they find him. Get back here, Mu. I'm going to take this guy down. As they throw a billion magical spells into the Fate's Edict, but still take him down afterwards. And now looking for the +1. King RD would be a great kill, but they can't quite get the vision. So he will manage to escape. And they'll retake this outpost. I feel like they really weren't able to get much during these cooldowns of the Haunt and the Exorcism. It feels like nothing's really been gained by Black and Yellow during this time.
Yeah. I mean, from Jubei's interviews, when they have a bad laning stage, it seems like a couple of their players shut down for a little bit and farm. So maybe they need to get to a point where they feel content with where they're at in the game, and Yamsun needs a little more time. Maybe that's that BKB there until he's ready to go. But I do think, even though this Oracle is a great save, if Lina does get farmed enough and they do manage to doom the DP, they might be able to burn through just the Oracle heals. It's more of the Soul Siphons that's really strong about this combo, right? So maybe they do have an opportunity to just try and burst Roya in this game, even though he does have a Sanj and Kaya, so he is even more tanky. That reduces the Doom duration a lot too, the Hood. So I like his itemization a lot this game on Roya.
Yeah, going for the Eternal Shroud next too. That is it's a fun item when we get to see it. A lot of regen for sure, and sort of spell lifesteal that comes out. But in the meantime, you're also seeing the bEE's move right on into Roche now. Roya's there hitting away. They saw the Ice Blast go in. They could check it again with Jubei throwing it and actually just going to scan. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get there in time. It's a little bit too slow, and they're taking it too quickly on the side of the bEE's. So the smoke will come afterwards as Aegis will be claimed, and now you're in a really weird situation as they jump in. Wait a minute, stun comes out. Haunt afterwards, BKB from S trying to beat away and take down one. Do manage to find themselves the Doom afterwards onto the Death Prophet, already having used her ulti, and now they jump for it. Oh my God, the Blade Mail comes out, completely demolishes that Lina. She didn't stand a chance, but Yamsun, is he going to be able to salvage this? Finds one kill, now looking for the second on Aurelia. Great finish as they take down the other two cores, and now trying to find Envy, but he's walking away and I think has a bit too much to break through. So they managed to make something out of that on the side of Black and Yellow.
Yeah, that was Yamsun coming in the clutch there, turning that fight around, which looks like just a clean win from the bEE's there. This Legion commander is starting to hurt.
Yeah.
That Lina died so fast through BKB. Like, maybe she didn't have BKB running, but like, it doesn't really matter at that point. Like, if he collects enough damage and he just jumps on this Lina, she might want to consider building a Linken's or something more some more survivability, because yeah, this Legion's game is incredible.
I'm wondering what that even is. Like, you're talking about Lincoln's, but it feels like oftentimes that just gets broken by something else. You know, whatever it ends up being.
They don't have a lot of it this game, though. So, like,
right.
Hoodwink doesn't have any of it. Oracle's going to be way too far back to do that.
Right. And you
DP
think...
maybe can do it, and Legion has not bought an item to like maybe a halberd. If once he gets halberd, it'll break it, right? But until then, I might be able to help.
What do you think of, like, is there just not enough armor in the world to deal with the Legion commander?
Careful on top real quick. They're invading.
Yeah, Jubei is
if he gets hit once, he's gone.
But don't.
Yeah, so the armor part, like, it really depends. It's like, it scales on how much damage they have, right? And Legion currently, yeah, some armor will help. It'll always help, but the feeding needs to stop on the supports. Like, we saw a couple games where Flea places Nyx, he tries to make space by dying on the map, but it's really punishing when you're playing versus a Legion commander.
Yeah.
Every death, like, matters way more, because it's just, like, infinite scaling.
Well, and I think back to, like, that last game that we saw where it was Raya playing on, like, the Invoker, and there kept on being those deaths that we saw, and that turned into Spirit Vessel charges. This is, like, a way accelerated version of that. It feels like that's just the black and yellow style of play, and they found something that they can punish a little bit, as Flea, again, jumps in, and he's dead. He's just gone, and another dual win, 90 damage now. Yeah, I think this is just the way that they're, like, trying to counter the specific style of black and yellow, like you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe. It's definitely working this game, that's for sure. Like, this Doom, he can be all the net worth in the world, but, like, he doesn't, like, do a lot with it in this game. Maybe when he gets the refresher and he can, like, confidently Doom the Oracle first, maybe, and then Doom someone else, then maybe, like, we'll see a lot more from him. I mean, I don't know if he's going Shivas too, and he's going Ags. So what Ags does on this hero, it applies a break. So he plans on just dooming the Spectre, and Dispersion, and, you know, Desolate won't do anything anymore. It is good.
Oh, I forgot about this. That they added the level death onto the Infernal Blade
for the shard.
Yeah, I was trying to remember, because for a little while that Infernal Blade shard was so good with the break as well, but now just getting it back onto that Aghanim Scepter, as well as increasing the duration. It won't help if there's Lincolns on the field, but I don't see anybody building one of those yet.
I don't think anyone will build it, minus, like, Sea Freak and potentially Roya, but Roya's... he plans on tanking through the damage by looking at his build, and just relying on Mu to, like, keep him alive for the False Promise.
Well, they drop down a ward here, which I think is scouted. Both teams have Sentry and Obs up on that cliff, if I'm not mistaken. And right now it is the bEE's taking over that dire jungle. Aghanim Scepter is completed. You would love to be able to find that pick off onto Eternal Envy when he's farming away from the other side of his team, but they actually do spot him now. And he's going to go up and deward that instead. Maybe looking for a fight here. Ask Roya, they're by Z freaking Mu. Heading down bottom.
Oh, they're just barely passing by each other.
Oh, and the jump. They found him right away. Yamsun didn't stand a chance. Jubei also in trouble now. They dropped the Doom onto Envy. Don't know if that's going to be enough. As a matter of fact, they know it's not, and they all run away. That really hurts. What a great play from King RD. This Legion is absolutely destroying this game.
Yeah, he truly is. 110. This is like 1,000 a pub. This is like my biggest nightmare playing versus Legion. I just normally when I see these competitive matches, I just see this Legion running around with 0 dual damage for 20 minutes, and not this game.
Oh
He's
my god, they found
very
him.
big. I wonder if they wait for the dual damage.
Yeah, I mean, they're
They
thinking
should.
about it. Yeah, he's going to. Wait in. Oh, what?
Oh!
What? That was a second away. What are you doing? He's like,
It's
I'll
up
get
now
another one.
for Ask.
Don't get another one. Don't worry. I'm coming for you, Esk. He thought about it. Nah, he's not going to go for it. Damn.
Small missed opportunity there, but it's okay. I'm sure they're still really happy. Like, they actually haven't been in the gold lead once this game, but
Yeah,
it
what is
feels like
Envy
they're in
doing?
full control of this game.
Envy is wild. He just
Yeah.
walks forward into 4 heroes. His entire team's on the other side of the map. He doesn't care. He's like, yeah, I got Doom. Just do it. Yeah, the gold lead's still staying for black and yellow, but like you said earlier, it's just, it doesn't feel like it because of how well bEE's are playing and what their sort of heroes do.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if Yamson's ever going to get a foot in this game.
No detection here. Flea. I mean, again, we haven't really been able to see him make those Meteor Hammer combos because as soon as he reveals himself, somebody else throws a stun out or a disable onto Flea. Spectre.
Might find Envy here.
All alone. No detection. There is a sentry ward off to the side, but they're doing the long wraparound here. And
Sniff it out.
it looks like he knows. Yeah, it looks like he knows. But do they find him over to the side? They're trying to go in the trees, but he will TP back home. And manages to escape.
Yep, Haunt back in 10. They're going to look for another fight. And what do you do at this point? Like, you pick this Luna, and you're only saving Grace against the Spectre matchup. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, solo killing A.
Wow, the hate is real. Unbelievable. They go in, try and find it. Now the duel yet again on to 0. Oh man. Dude, that is that's some good stuff right there.
Yep, Shadow Blade on Legion now. He feels so confident that he's just gonna go and kill people solo on the map. Like, you only go for the Shadow Blade build if you know you can solo kill people. And honestly, he can solo kill every single hero right now.
Yeah.
I think in one duel. Without help, probably. 130 bonus damage.
It's wild what happens when this hero just gets out of control. Just makes everything that much more difficult. They're trying to find him here, and Esk, Yule Scepter lift up. Looking for somebody to duel. Hello again. Oh,
cooldown
in 1 second.
Yeah, so I was saying before that happened, like, you pick this Luna and the Spectre, and you're only saving Grace in this matchup is you're up at least 1 item on the Spectre.
Right.
But they're similar net worth, and that's very bad for this matchup. So, and that's like my biggest concern about what can black and yellow do to stay in this game. And I think unfortunately it has to be off like some big mistakes off of bE.
Yeah. Well, we've seen some wild ones before, but I think that, you know, you said it best. What can you do? What can you do? As 16-6, and black and yellow, they have a smoke up now. Another 5-man smoke, hoping to find somebody, and it feels like the bEE's just can read it. They're on top of it. They're ready. Although they're going into the pit now. Okay, maybe there's an opportunity here. How many times have we seen second Roche be the big thing that determines it all? King RD walking forward, shadow-bladed, trying to block the angle. He's thinking that they're coming from the north, but they're coming from the south. Looking for that jump. Ice Blast is there. Do they have the opening? Right onto him. 0, they catch. Envy gets the Aegis, though. That's what they needed. Laguna Blade afterwards. King RD looking for an opening, trying to find a dual victory. He's already done it. But do they have anything else left in the tank? Envy comes back in just a moment. The boomerang goes out. Sharpshooter as well. And the big jump for the kill. Esk is going to fall. What else do they have? Chase forward. Envy kills Jubei. Haunts in on top of Flea. Finds that finish as well. 3 dead in an instant. And a big win. That was about as perfect as they could have hoped for black and yellow, but it wasn't enough. And now 0 chase down yet again. Blade Mail out, down to such low HP. They try and turn onto him now with the Luna, but it's not going to happen. They don't have enough. bEE making the plays.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what else to say about this game, to be honest. It feels very hopeless for
Yeah.
Black and Yellow. As you said it best, like, how can you get a better fight than that? Maybe if they would have stole the Aegis, they might have had some type of chance there. But
Right.
I don't know if another opportunity like that is going to present itself in this game, but it might. It's
Right.
starting to look like a complete outdraft in the sense of that, like, if the two drafts are equal in net worth, the other team, like, has no chance. It felt like as soon as the net worths were, like, even similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was no chance. But that's just kind of the effect of, like, picking Doom and Luna. These two heroes are supposed to accelerate so much, and I would just argue they didn't accelerate enough, not nearly enough.
Right. Well, and I mean, how much of that lane do you think came down to that like initial lag thing versus like the sort of play? You think it was, that first death was a big deal?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think a lot of matchups, the first wave is like the most important wave of the game, and every lane, honestly, including mid and both side lanes.
Right.
And if you just kind of like lose all your HP and then feed first blood as a carry, it's kind of hard to come back from it. So it's a little unfortunate.
Fair enough. Well, we'll see if they can sort of come back from this deficit. They've done about all that they can. We did see the first instance of that Lincoln Sphere being used. Ask was able to make sure Duel didn't go through, and because of that Shadow Blade, not Halberd, King RD doesn't have a way to break it. So maybe that's something else you could look towards here, right? Not being able to find those duel initiations, maybe finding a way to catch the Oracle out and get the Doom onto Spectre instead of somebody else. But we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. The break and all on the Doom sounds like cute and everything, but kind of like looking at its performance this game, maybe the standard build would have just been a bit better, just going for that refresher.
Right.
And going for like the Shivas too to have some more healing reduction. So they might be able to burst a bit more.
That could be good.
He'll probably still go back for it, but yeah, it doesn't seem like they're ever going to get a fight where they're going to break the Spectre and they're actually going to kill her within that duration.
Well, Haunt comes out now. Jubei potentially under fire, or, yep, they're going for him. He accepts his fate, and that's a dual victory.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
He wants one of those 200 dual damage games.
Damn.
That's when you're really feeling yourself as a Legion Commander player.
You still take the AoE press the attack, surely, though, right?
I don't play this here. What are the other options? 30 dual damage bonus?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're at this point of the game and you know it's going to keep going, go for the infinite scale.
Really? Okay.
Why not? You know,
60 damage per duel? That's pretty hype. It's hard to say no to.
The AoE, I mean, it's okay. I think if you're the carry, you go for the carry build.
Okay. He is carrying, that's for sure.
I don't know if this game will last till he's 25, but we'll see.
LSA comes out, Laguna Blade afterwards, trying to salvage this zero, finds the backline, but not before Ryoya gets the save. They turn onto him, he gets Exorcism. Doom afterwards, not enough Spirit Siphons there. Oh, but the duel! King RD, he salvages the day. Big play. So they trade out there the Oracle and the DP for the Doom and the Luna. Still looking kind of rough. Eternal Envy, oh, good BKB there to block the Spike Carapace, but King RD, he ends up going down. Went a bit too far out. Spectre manages to find that kill onto Esk. Virtue of Dispersion, I think, even, but it looks like they're going to retreat away on the side of Black and Yellow. Can Flea escape, though? Jubei's still there, has Ice Blast back up again in a second. If they can bury him down a little bit, there's potentially a chance there, but it looks like no. They're going to have to just chill. Not a great fight, have to be said, on the side of Black and Yellow, but it could have been worse.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they're able to even just bring down those two cores. Like, they have a long way to go, but that is some progress and much needed confidence to be like, hey guys, we actually can kill them if we just man up on them. So, oh, the TP out bottom? Alright, he barely got out with the gem. That would have been... They both have a gem. Okay, cool. Gem's very important in the late game. Doom going back for that Shiva's Guard, and Luna... I would like to see a Scotty on her, because like I think a lot of the strategy is based on healing Ryoya, but if they get a Shivas and Scotty, it's gonna nullify most of the healing
Right.
that's gonna happen out. But he's just building the damage to cut through it, which is a similar idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like the Scotty might be just a better approach against the Oracle.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has that feel of like, I just died to duel. I'm gonna get this Lincoln's. I'm tired of this. You know, that type of reaction. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. We'll see. They did manage to sort of burst him before Mu got that ulti off, and then also, I thought it was really clever to actually just drop the Doom onto the DP to make sure she didn't survive through it. Couldn't get those spirit siphons off.
Yeah, you have to Doom the DP. I think there's no other way around it, which is why the Aghanims on Doom is a little weird. I think he misread the game a little bit. It does add some duration, but I don't know if that's good enough to justify.
Could see right there, trying to play around this vision that they anticipate them having, and
Flea tried to get it with the Carapace, wasn't able to. So, new neutral items. Let's see
Tricksters.
if anything game-winning comes out for either side.
They did spot that they had a ward up there. Ryoya is going to take away these ancients for them. Wait a minute. They saw that they had a ward. This is a little wild. As stun is there, Ryoya. They jump in. They find the Doom available if they want to use it. But Ryoya...
Ice Blast came out after.
That was really good for them. Eternal Envy going on to Esk right now. So they lose one. Both the mids down. Now afterwards, Yamsun trying to get enough of a jump away, but the BKB still lasting through. Envy able to survive it. Round 2, they ball back on the Luna, trying to go for this. Zero's dead. He has buyback as well, but are they going to try and chase it? Are they going to try and follow this? Mu is just doing so much with this heal afterwards, and the press the attack. It's incredibly hard to fight this. Good impale afterwards. Yamsun shows up, right clicks coming through, wants to take him down. Can they find enough? Trying to get the finish. The rest of the heroes are just tearing them apart. The save again from King Ao, and Ice Blast. One last round, but the save with the Fate's Edict, it's keeping them alive. The rest of the heroes starting to drop. King RD, 220 dual damage. Everybody dead. And with that and no buybacks, I think bEE's are going to take game number 2. What a great series of events for them. GG called.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this Legion Commander performance was everything they needed and more. Just took the team, put her on her back, right? And just, they went with the win. It was very good. Very well played. And we're off to a game 3.
Well, it's what we all anticipated happening, and at some point in time we were going to go to game 3 in this series, and would have it any other way, to be honest. Hopefully next time the game doesn't have as much writing on those early disconnect issues, and they were able to sort it out. It should be noted that Yamsun didn't have any more afterwards, but regardless, we're going to go to a quick break. When we get back, the panel's going to break it all down. See you then.
All this time, I've been feeling hopeless till you came around, came around. All this time, you're the only reason I'm not chasing highs, chasing highs. What is love? Lately I've been wondering just what is love? What is love? I don't know. No one ever showed me.
Welcome back, everybody, to the TI-10 North American Qualifiers. We have our last game of our last series of the day. bEE's versus Black and Yellow, and it's kind of hard to say what really happened there. There's a couple of things. I know that one of the things that Fear and Lyrical were mentioning was that maybe itemization on Doom was the build itself was a little weird. There was also the ISP assist as well, perhaps the early game MVP. Gentlemen, break it down for me. What happened there? Let's start with Fear.
Just this is a simple case of the caster's curse. It was a unanimous decision for Black and Yellow, so I don't think they had much of a choice or a chance, sorry, on their team, unfortunately. Cursed Yamsun there.
Rip. Yeah, I think that there's definitely, like, you know, when you look at this draft and everything feels like it's gonna be great, it's like, maybe there's something we're missing, there's a chance. But the double heals proved to be really strong. King RD totally overperformed in that game, and you know, I think that there's definitely something to be said where you anticipate a lane going a certain way, and then when it doesn't, it kind of has ripple effects throughout the whole rest of your draft. And you know, they did what they needed to do, and Black and Yellow in the end, Yamsun was not able to stay an item ahead of the Spectre, basically.
So on the bEE's side, what makes this a fantastic game for them? What allowed them to pull out the win on their side?
I think personally that right now what's working really well for the bEE's, and this just might be generally a concept that most teams are adopting in this region, is pick save, pick heal. And I think if you want to go for this AA next game, this Oracle might need to go. I think this matchup does not look very favorable for the AA. It looks very hard to play. So, you know, their Moo's killing it on this Oracle. So I'd like for them to keep going down this direction of like picking heals, either the Oracle versus AA or banning the AA and finding more Wyvern trees, like whatever he tends to play to keep Envy alive in these team fights, or Aurelia, and just kind of sit behind their two cores and just keep them healthy. It's a winning strategy for them so far.
Cool. Well, we will see if Oracle will continue to prove if it is the #1 support for the TI qualifiers, or we'll see maybe something else happens as we go to our final game of bEE's versus Black and Yellow after a short break.
I've got sunshine, I've got you now. My body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body. I know love now, and you're stuck in my mind. My body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body. Friends don't like that I'm with somebody, that I'm with somebody. Oh no, oh no. I just want to stay in this melody, stay in this melody. Oh, oh. I've got sunshine, I've got you now. My body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body. I know love now, and you're stuck in my mind. My body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body, oh, body on body. Friends don't like that I'm with somebody, that I'm with somebody. Oh no, oh no. I just want to stay in this melody, stay in this melody. Oh, oh.
We are in the lower bracket semifinals with Bumblebees and Black and Yellow, and the score is 1-1. And as an extra bit of pressure, Bumblebees are at a little bit of a disadvantage because they have been smacked with the level 3 draft penalty for inappropriate messages in all chat. So what that means is that they have a minus 110 seconds to their bonus draft time, leaving them with 20 seconds, right, Lyrical?
Yes. So it used to be that there was 110 seconds total. They added 20 extra seconds, and now reserve time, you only have the 20 seconds. So they're probably going to take the max amount for like every single ban, every single pick. And, you know, they're just going to have to be a little bit more on the clock. And I mean, Fear, this is like the drafts feel like they've decided these games kind of, right?
Yeah, they're very important. So, like, normally if you're hit with like a level 1, maybe level 2, it's not that bad, but level 3 is a lot. Like, you're gonna feel really pressured on every pick. You have to like pre-plan what you want to pick before you go in. Almost, there's not gonna be a lot of reaction, or you just have to go with your instinct, I guess.
Oh, the instinct. The instinct. So I know that in a lot of teams, the coach drafts, or in some cases, the one of the players will draft. Do you know who drafts for Bumblebees?
Last I checked, it was Moo.
Okay, so Moo is gonna have to believe in himself and trust his instincts. Well, I guess we'll see how that goes. I'm interested to see how that might affect the draft. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of like standard meta stuff, or things that Eternal Envy, as you mentioned before, things that he's really comfortable with as well. On the Black and Yellow side, what do you think that they can do to ensure their victory in this game 3, since they took the first game, but the second game didn't go their way?
Sorry about this. I was just they had to remake the lobby, so I'm just trying to hop back into it real quickly.
Oh, there.
Yeah, so they'll be ready to go in just a second here. But yeah, for me, I think the biggest things that you want to try and do, particularly for black and yellow, is like don't give up the ideas that got you here. Even in that last game, they had like an avenue to succeed, right? You had this like idea that could have potentially worked. Things went a little bit crazy at the start. It wasn't the way that you thought it was going to go, but like don't give up like that central idea of the way that you want to play, and just sort of trying to remain cool, calm, and collected, and stick with it. Keep drafting the same type of stuff. Maybe don't do the Doom. I don't know. Doom's like okay, but I feel like it's a little bit. It feels like it's trying. I don't know. There's like kind of ways around it. Maybe if it's a good Doom game or whatever, it's the way to go. But that hero looked a little bit suspect to me. I think Fear, you had said that you didn't want to see Zero on anything except for Timber, and what was the other one?
DK.
DK, yeah. So maybe we'll get one of those too.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I want him on one of those two heroes if they allow it, but I think the biggest thing about that game wasn't so much the Doom. I think he did pretty well. Maybe relax on picking Doom versus Oracle.
Right.
I'd like them to think about how they want to play this Oracle a bit more, because they didn't really have any way for some hero to get on the back lines and deal with them. And that's always very difficult when you play versus Oracle if you can't actually jump him. And the last thing, and also very important, I want Yamsung to have a stable connection this game. So
Yes.
like we don't have any of this like pausing or accidental first bloods. Like you hate to see that disadvantage. Like when these two teams are so evenly matched, it feels like something small like that, even if it's just a first blood, can actually mean a lot for the game.
I was trying to figure out what the analogy was. I was like, stable connection. Who's he trying to connect with in like the game? What do you mean by this? And I was like, oh, you used to mean ISP. Okay, got it.
Yes.
It took me a second there.
Yeah, I'm so curious as to how disconnects really affect the mentality of black and yellow, to just see, first blood was a result of that disconnect, and it unfortunately, especially with like record high temperatures for a lot of places over the last couple of days, like since last weekend, it might be unavoidable in some cases. So Fear, could you give me like a little bit of insight as to how teams are able to deal with disconnects? I know that you said in the last game that you haven't really had to deal with like 4v5 situations in pro games very often, but what kind of like mentality do players have to go through during that?
I think the most important thing when you're faced like with issues like that is to not just be too negative, especially to the person that is having the issues, right? And for that person, like lag can be in all types of shapes and forms. It can be spikes, it could be delay. Just don't complain about it. Don't like cloud up your communication, your team communications with your connection issues, and just try to stay positive.
I will say Jubei and Yamsun seem to have some type of special connection between each other, because he like all chatted in there. He was like, it's actually his fault. It's like it's Yamsun's fault or something like that. And then, he came on the interview and he was like, I just need my core player to not feed 3 times in lane. So I don't know what their relationship is, but it feels like it's very unique to them. Maybe there's some type of loving sort of bullying going on right there in a nice way. But who's to say? Yeah, and I guess it's the thing that also sort of makes it unique is that for some other regions, for some other teams, you can get everybody together within the same area, right? In North America, one of the problems that this region has to deal with is that you've got people playing from all over the place, and it's just up to their individual internet connections. And the same thing exists in South America as well. There was, I think, qualifiers. I don't remember if it was for a major or if it was last TI or what it was, but there was one South American player that like he said, I have to go, my mom needs to take me to the mall or something. Just like, he just had to leave.
Wait,
Did you guys remember that? Would that happen?
Who was that?
I don't remember. I don't want to put him on blast, but I feel like there was something like that happened. And it's just, it's what happens when you've got up and coming teams. You end up in weird situations.
That's very interesting. You don't want to put them on blast, but I'm definitely gonna go look online for who that was. Yeah. I want to see what the reason was. Like, imagine being at a TI qualifier and then your teammates just like, yo guys, I gotta go to the mall. My mom's gonna drop me off, so I gotta go right now. All right, see ya.
All right, here's what it was. It was It was Midas. I think it was Midas something.
Midas Club or something?
Yeah, and Sooths was the guy that was on it. And let's see
I
this.
see.
Yeah. So apparently Sooths had to go to the mall with his mom, so he couldn't play the tiebreaker, and now Midas is out. That's the Reddit thread from 3 years ago. So
oh my gosh.
it happened.
That's that's kind of unreal, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Fear. Now tell us, if your teammate told you that you were gonna go, that he has to go to the mall, what would you do then? Are you gonna stay positive, or are you gonna start flaming them in chat?
I mean, I would not play with them again in the future. So that's like an instant disconnect for me right there.
Not even just in pro matches, just in pubs. Like, he just wouldn't play with them again.
Avoided.
Dude, I have played a pub match with somebody, and they paused the game, and then they wrote in all chat, they said beer back frame rate, and then they typed in team chat, they're like, I have to walk my dog, so stall as long as possible. And I was just like,
nice. That's sick. That's great. I love that.
Gosh. It looks like we have our draft ready to go. We remade the lobby. We're in, and we have our bans in, and Oracle again. First pick. Fear's favorite.
Ugh.
It's proven to be good, and especially good for, say, A. There are counter picks for black and yellow, and I'd like for them to explore them this game. Any hero that has the ability to jump, the Esk Storm Spirit jumps out, but he probably doesn't want to play it. He picked Puck. Okay. A lot of these jump heroes aren't very good versus Death Prophet in lane, and they probably won't get the Spectre because they will pick it out of phase, I think, on the bumblebees. So
Yeah.
they're gonna need to concoct something else. But the Luna and the Medusa is not in there. These type of heroes are not good versus Oracle, so this is maybe why Oracle has such a high win rate in this patch. It's people are struggling of finding the right heroes to break this this healing effect on him in the ultimate and all the other useful spells he does provide for his allies, which have been proven to be very strong in this patch.
It seems like Terrorblade was a problem, and now they just banned Terrorblade, so now the problem's Oracle, and maybe the solution is just to ban Oracle as well.
Yeah, that's the part that's tough, right? Is that you want to take both of those like super hard farming cores out because they fill the same kind of role and are the same type of problems. But you can see that already they're making a couple of like adjustments to the issues that they had in their draft. So they're not going to take the Nyx themselves. They ban their own Nyx. It's going to be a completely different game this time. Also, Spectre taken out of the pool. I think Puck opens up a lot more options for you. Lena is really a nice follow-up stun, but I feel like these Yule combos into LSAs have kind of been somewhat underwhelming. I wouldn't mind seeing them try and pick up maybe something Lion gets so countered by Oracle too, but you want something like that Hex or that an instant initiation out of black and yellow. I think maybe Puck can fill that role enough, but I feel like Puck's job in this game is just going to be find that Oracle constantly.
So I know that Fear, right before the break, said that he wants a hero that can go into that backline and take out Oracle so that it's just not a problem anymore. Is Puck sufficient for that, or do they need more than that?
It can be good enough, but I think I'd like to see something more if they can fit it into their lineup. The problem is, from the carry role, outside of the Spectre, nothing's truly meta. The PL could be good in this game too, if it's still in there.
He's banned.
Oh, it is banned, so that one's not in there. On a side note though, for black and yellow, the two heroes I did want to see Zero on those were the first phase bans, so they recognize that as well. So they pick up the Tiny instead, which must be POS 4 at this point. It looks like Flea. Blink Dagger Tiny's good too. You can try and assassinate the Oracle, so they realize the problem and they're trying to apply a fix to it, because as Lyrical said with the Lena, it's not effective at killing the backline. It maybe just wasn't effective at all. I think their desired effect for the Lena was to win mid versus a DP, but that didn't even happen, so they're not going to try that again. They're going to try something new. That Puck isn't particularly good versus Death Prophet, nor in the game or in lane, but it does bring an answer for the Oracle at least, and they're going to focus on that this game.
So
I feel like we're in a weird situation. Sorry about that. Just the
No, no,
one
no,
thing that
please.
really seems strange to me now is like, where are you going to go with the rest of this draft to try and like uh, deal with actually having the damage to burst down DP, right? Because if Oracle doesn't even necessarily need to get a save this guy. I mean, if she has her own Yules, I feel like just that instant burst, you need to like synchronize it so well with going on Oracle at the same time you're going on Death Prophet, and they need vision. So like, who's gonna be that vision hero? It's like Night Stalker or something weird like that, or maybe Beastmaster. But it feels like it's really tough for Black and Yellow to find this hero in this game.
I
It's
see.
gonna have to be like a puck orb or some observer wards, I guess, like
Right.
play around their vision. So they don't have like a ton of ways to get like vision out of nowhere. So they'll probably just have to play around their vision and try to make it happen. And we'll see the Yamsun Morphling again. He's very good at the hero. He probably won't let that laning stage happen again that he had earlier, the 0-3 in 1 minute. And they're now looking for an offlaner with Tiny, and most likely they're going to go back to one of those green goblins for 0, but they are, to be fair, they are much better versus the Death Prophet and the Axe, so we'll see what they choose to pick up here.
My question was about, so I had two questions. One was like, is there ever a chance that Puck will not go middle? You said it's not very good against DP. I know that I've seen Puck go into the off lane in other patches, but it might be totally different for this patch. Is there a chance that they would send Tiny or Morph mid instead?
Those are all possible options. It's just Puck offlane isn't very desirable because it's kind of weak, whereas when it goes mid, it's generally speaking just solid. And I think they're just going to choose Morph as like their Axe counter. If you can get your shift off before the call, it's very hard to kill the 0. So
my rule of thumb with Puck offlane is that I only want to see it on Southeast Asian offlane players. It's just something about that region that just plays this hero so well. And besides that, I don't know. It still can be good. Or I want Z-Freak to play it, but he's on the other team. They go for it.
I like that instant pick because bumbeBEE's has like no time, so it's kind of forcing them to make some pretty snap decisions here with only like 35 seconds or something like that to finish out this draft. Who is it? All right, your bumbeBEE's. What are you picking right now?
Oh, for Eternal Envy, no Wraith King, no Spectre. There's no PL. This is actually gonna get pretty hard really fast. Let me see what I can come up with.
Jug? Ugh.
Not really, not for his Morphling. Anti-Mage would be really sick if he wants to pull it out.
Ursa.
Ursa?
Oh.
Yeah, that's good too. Good enough.
What makes Ursa
I
good
like it.
enough?
I mean, it's really good in lane versus the Doom. The problem I do have with Ursa, usually it feels really bad to be doomed as an Ursa, unless there's an outplay factor, where if you have quick fingers, then you can get your Enrage off in time. Envy, to me, doesn't generally... He's not really like a flashy, like, quick reflex kind of guy. He's more of like a mechanically skilled and like very smart player, so we'll see if he can do it. But it's like, it's very annoying for Doom once you get the shard on Ursa and you're just hopping around, pressing R, and if you ever Doom him during the Enrage, it doesn't last very long, and that's very frustrating if you're a Doom player.
So, gentlemen, this is the lower bracket semifinals. The loser here is going home and not going to TI. This is the last draft. This is the last chance. Which draft do you think is better and why?
I think I'm going to go with Black and Yellow. I think that even though they've got like the potential for outplay on Ursa, I actually think that they're going to be spending this Doom on DP again. And I think she's not going to have a good time. I think King RD is not going to have as good of a lane as he had last time. I think Black and Yellow bring it home. Complete the arc. See if it happens.
Here, what are your thoughts?
For me, I think their offlane's too weak on Black and Yellow. I think they're going to have too good of a game on the bumbeBEE's. And I'm just going to have to go with like the Moo Oracle here. He's had a lot of success with it. I think Envy's gonna have a great game. Roy is gonna have a great game, and that's enough for me. I think for them to snowball.
I feel like that's like that both of these teams have done really, really well, and these drafts are both good. But I do have to go with like that mental part of being hit with that penalty. I feel like that will come into play. You know, maybe teams are a little bit frustrated, but we'll see. This is the last game in the lower bracket semifinals: Bumblebees versus Black and Yellow, the rivalry of the tournament. Let's see what happens as we get into this game. Lyrical and Fear, take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you again, Sumi. Yes, and we are on our way. The wonderful Bumblebee Envy sticker down there in the mid lane as we take a quick little look-see at all the items, and this game gets underway. Fear, you know, it's going to be a really interesting final match, because I think, you know, there is something to be said for both teams having their strengths and weaknesses. What to you is like sort of the way that Black and Yellow want this game to go? Those first couple of minutes, how do you see it working for them?
Oh, well, the way they want it to go and how I see it might be completely different.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
So the way they want it to go is they want their bot lane to survive, right? They want this Doom to get high net worth. They want him to be able to let this Tiny roam to this mid lane, maybe get a couple toss backs, and, you know, Flea do what he does best and just roam around. How I'm afraid it might go, which will be pretty hard for them, is this Ursa will get on top of this Doom with an early Orb of Venom, and then Moo will be there with the charge up and stun him, and he's going to have a rough laning stage, and Tiny might not be able to help very much in this lane, so them being a double melee.
Right.
But if they can avoid that, their chances in this game go up quite a bit. The mid matchup, generally speaking, it's just straight DP favored. Most people I know, especially Roya, he's like, if anything picks Puck, you know, just give me DP. He has a silence. Later on, when he gets 2 siphon charges, he can bully him out of the lane. It's not a great lane for the Puck. So if Esk wants to win this matchup, I think he's got to outplay him just a little bit. And as far as his top lane goes, it's Axe versus Morph. They have a chance with Axe plus Willow to put some pressure onto Yamsun, but I have a feeling he'll probably be fine up here, and this top lane might just be a wash. But there's definitely room on Bumblebees to actually win this lane hard, whereas I think Black and Yellow are just looking to get out of the laning stage top and just kind of get their farm.
Okay. Well, that would be something to watch for. It sounds like the kind of linchpin of this, at least to some extent, is going to be how well that bottom lane goes, if they're able to make a life for this Doom down here. And they do already have boots first on Flea, so he's probably going to be looking to try and drag some of those waves over as he does head in towards the rune. Could look for some type of a toss-back play, but it looks like it's just going to be 2 Black and Yellow runes down here bottom. And then on the side of the bEE's, they get 2 for themselves up top. Easy trade-off there. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes on this. And Zero saving a skill point here. Doesn't have boots first himself, so definitely needs to be careful about this Envy chase down that we might see, as he is already looking to try and just completely zone him out from the lane right now. Yeah, this is super frustrating. And Moo, in the meantime, will be pushed back a little bit by Flea, and I'm just anticipating they try and pull waves here.
Yeah, there's no playing to win this lane. They're just playing to survive, honestly, and then hopefully get to a point where Zero gets his boots up, maybe win lace, and just kind of runs around in the lane and devours some creeps and just aggroes creeps around and gets what they can.
Wow, look at that. 7-1 so far in TI-10 qualifiers on the DP Oracle combo. It is quite the strong one.
Yeah, even versus AA, right? Like, considered to probably be one of the best heroes versus the Death Prophet. If that doesn't work, it's got to be a strong combo. And it's like a Roya classic. Like, this is like the type of hero I said I want him to. I don't want to really see him on these Invokers, right? Yeah. I love to see him on the Death Prophet. One of his best heroes.
Totally. Fleet just down there bottom, trying to play around a little bit with this wave. He tossed Moo on top of it, trying to soak up whatever he can, and does actually spot out a courier there. Don't know if he's going to fully commit to try and go for it, but it looks like eventually these waves will push back out again, and Zero should be able to get something more out of that, as Jubei is pummeled back a little bit too. Man, yeah, Axe and Hoodwink super annoying to deal with. Is Jubei just dead? No, he's good. He's fine. So yeah, 6-0 versus 9-1. King RD again having a good lane.
Yep. I think generally speaking in this patch, if you just pick one of the strong 4s and one of the strong 3s, or sorry, the melee 3s and the ranged 4s, your laning stage is generally very powerful. And this is like one of the strongest ones, with the battle hunger plus like all the harass that comes out from this hoodwink hero.
Absolutely. So that part is definitely cool here. They're going to try and do another pull through. Envy actually pulling this double wave back behind the tower. Or is he trying to connect it up with the other one? I'm not entirely sure. If he connects it here, this is actually really good for them. And they get the root as well as the chase down onto 0. This is huge. Second round, toss away, well played. So with the double wave, that eventually will push back. And
this is going to get weird.
Super weird.
It's going to get this. There's going to be a triple wave under his tower now. And there is all right, there's a small camp there. They can pull it into it, and that won't be so bad. Or is he just going to bring it back here? The thing is, like, how much can you pressure with these two heroes, though, even with a double wave of this extent? And the answer looks like not at all, so this is why you don't see much of the double melee anymore. It's, like, very difficult to get out of this laning stage. And top lane, he's got a fairy fire.
Yeah, Jubei will be okay.
Right.
He just walks it off. And in the meantime, of course, Morphlane, one of the heroes that definitely can farm underneath the tower, as you can see, Esk. So far, 18-2 versus 16-4. So very even in that mid lane. A couple more denies going into the favor there of the DP. But at least so far, nobody dying yet, which I think is, you know, it's got to be okay at least somewhat for black and yellow.
Yeah, I mean, the laning stage is not a disaster on any lane. Mid lane, you know, just losing by a little bit, but a lot closer than it could be. Could be much worse for Puck. What's really important is how much can Yamsun get his farm.
Right. Yeah, that is a bit of an issue there for sure. Does already have that Morbid Mask up and online and is getting all the mangoes fed to him, as well as a self passed over from Jubei. So trying to do everything he possibly can to support Yamsum and get him into a decent game. But you can see he's actually tied right now for CS with the Ursa, although Ursa way more denies.
Yeah, I mean, Yamsum when he gets level 5, he's going to be pretty invulnerable actually with this build. So I would say he weathered the storm here, and he'll be fine.
Well, good
so
stuff.
Pretty early even game. Bottom lane is like just very one-sided. So this is like why the net worth lead is for the bumblebees right now. Even with this Devour gold, like Doom is not going to have like a really good game this game.
Fair enough. I mean, he's Doom, though. You know, he's going to get himself the Devour going on. He actually only has 1 point in it right now, opting for more in the Scorched Earth, and then saving that other point afterwards as well. But definitely the type of hero that maybe can catch back up if he wants to rotate his Flea. Doing some scouting again. Trying to make a really long rotation to see what, if there are any stacks or anything.
I forgot as well. They got the tiny puck combo. Toss out a coil, so if they rotate another hero mid, maybe they can actually get a kill on top of this DP. That would be really nice.
No, thinking about it. Flea underneath a ward there for a moment. They are stacking up this hard camp a little bit more, and do they get him out of there? Esk gets the jump back. And it was a bottled invis rune for Aya. So, yeah, that makes that gank a lot harder, I think. Although Jubei is still there. Now, he's just scouting out that there's that stack. And we'll see if he decides to try and go and steal it eventually. But, I mean, it would be tough, especially with like, having this vision here by the bumblebees.
Yeah, for sure. It's another one of those Axe games. He's going to get super farmed.
0, TPing out, and ends up going down. Envy finds the kill and who gives him the tip afterwards. Dude, the TP deaths always hurt so bad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this bottom lane, he's gonna get what he can, but like, they need to make something happen on the other lanes, because now this Tiny is no longer, he hasn't been laning the 0 for a while now, and with that being said, he's gonna need to make something happen on the other lanes, but he's found nothing so far.
Right, yeah. Stepping forward there. Jubei also holding down the mid. So the two supports come mid to soak up some XP, try and get a few levels, it looks like. And Flea will pass on through again the mid lane and start heading back towards bottom. And also able to get a D ward up here on the high ground by Z-Freak. So yeah, everything going really well here for bEE's, but can they make this rotation with S? This would be big. Coil connects onto 2. Oracle is still in the area. Toss away, breaks it. Wait, what? They managed to find the kill. Okay, Hoodwinks down. King RD also in maybe a little bit of trouble if they can keep the chase going. Switch in, the right click's moving, and they find the finish. Good rotations.
Yeah, that's what they needed. They need to make stuff happen on both these side lanes and maybe the mid lane, because nothing's happening until Doom's level 6. You can rotate down after he's 6 maybe, but until then, play with your puck.
I think that was a really cool play by Flea. He like shows mid that he's going bottom and then TP's back to the outpost to like try and find the kill. And Roya, oh, getting body blocked by Jubei. Can't do anything with it though. And the bushwhack comes back in, so yeah. It was a bold attempt.
Very courageous 8 there. Running into melee range of a Death Prophet. Wow.
Esk? Dude, King RD does not care about this tower. Dude has a Vanguard. They're just going in to finish it.
Great rotation, honestly.
Fate's Edict, keeping them alive. Salve up afterwards, why not? They get the tier 1 mid.
Yeah, I mean, I think they realized like there's a lot of pressure going on in the mid lane there, and they couldn't really make any pressure on the top lane, so this rotation from the entire off lane to the mid lane was a very good presence of mind by them.
Yeah. Really nice stuff there for sure. Well, it is level 6 now for Zero as Yamsun continues to farm up and tries to get a little bit of extra space for himself, but it's a big smoke move coming. Esk has Coil back up again. Flea is ready with the toss combos, and the people they might run into here is King RD. The Oracle nearby doesn't quite have level 6 yet. Ava toss, but the Fate's Edict will be there afterwards. They try and jump. Good silence. They just don't have enough damage here. Not nearly enough. What, maybe with Yamsun? Okay. Thought about a waveform. Bushwhack stops the pressure. And now the wrap is coming. DP's over here as well. You got to be careful. Esk. They spot Jubei. Try and slowly whittle him down, but the raindrops and the silence afterwards, they find one kill. Again, it's Jubei that falls. So they don't really manage to get anything off of that. Toss Z-Freak, he's away as well. Jaunt's out of there on Esk. Yeah, nothing really gained yet.
Yeah, I mean, right now, everything's going very well. Both carries are free farming, and they're also winning the, the 4v4 in the mid lane here, so they're going to start gaining a bit of a gold lead here. I do like the fact that Envy is going for the standard Morbid Mask and Diffusal, especially against the Morphling who uses the mana. And this will also, especially on Radiant, give them an early Roshan if they ever get a kill or the Dire team decides to play bottom half of the map.
Right. Well, we've seen so often this push that comes up towards this top tower. And with the Vanguard, and now, what, he's 500 gold away just about for King Hao on taking down that Blink as well. That could really put the screws to black and yellow. And, I mean, I don't know. Can they even force Envy out of here, really? Down on the bottom side and try and take this tower? They have a catapult wave. It feels like this is the play they kind of have to go for. Envy, oh, just doom him. He didn't get Enrage off. Coil, but the save, it's there. Is it going to be enough? They wait for Adoration, though. Nicely played, and that Ice Blast might be enough to kill him off afterwards. Will it be? Yes. They get the finish, but it comes at a cost. They lose Jubei again, which is a phrase I've said more than a few times, as Zero tries to get out of there, and looks like he might be able to with a little bit of help from Flea. So they get the kill on the Ursa, and it looks like Zero might escape as well. Not bad.
Yeah, that's just one of those things where Envy's just got to be a little quicker on the hands, When you see this Doom's hands go up, you just gotta spam your R button, and he would live if he would have done that. But really good for Black and Yellow to get that kill. They lost their mid laner plus Jubei, so it wasn't amazing, but at the same time, this was without their Morphling, so it still was space. But here comes the Roshan, and this is the Doom counter right here as well.
True. Yeah, really annoying to have to deal with that. Do they realize though? Oh,
they do.
Ice Blast. Envy in some trouble. Throws out the avalanche. Toss in. Right, almost dead. Zero tries to chase, and there's a kill. Now looking for Envy. They kill off the courier. Call it. Big call coming from KO, but they're able to break and walk away. Esk lives. Just barely. Now, trying to go back in for round 2. Do they have anything else left in the tank there? Ava toss. Coil afterwards. Tries to bring down Flea. He falls. Zero has to back away. So they stop the Roche, get the kill on DP, lose the Tiny for the trouble.
And meanwhile, Yamsun's free farming, so that's really good for Black and Yellow. Considering all things, this whole time Ursa is not hitting creeps, he was hitting Roshan, so Yamsun is getting large. Does he have any cool plays this game? No, he's just going to be the standard carry morph. There's no cool Axe plays in this game.
Who's the hero you try and switch into if you're him?
In this game, probably Hoodwink or Death Prophet, I'd imagine, to get some siphons out to make you more survivable.
Right. Okay. I could be down for that, yeah.
I don't know if he... Like I said, I'm not sure if he plays Hoodwink. He tried to play Hoodwink earlier by, like, literally turning into Hoodwink, but he didn't drop the tree on the ground by turning the auto cast on, or maybe he clicked him on accident, so we'll see if he can make some good Hoodwink plays if he turns into Hoodwink. Otherwise, the DP's solid too. You can just turn it and get a bunch of siphons off and turn back, and they'll still keep running.
I guess you're probably not going to be getting the shard on Yamsun, but I guess if you did and you turn into Ursa, I wonder if you get the Enrage or not. I'm not sure if that works or not. Okay.
The thing I don't know though is, like, there's some weird interactions when you turn back into Morphling form, which you normally want to, because you don't want to keep the base stats of the person you're turning into. Oh, but for now, Yamsun looks toast. Oh, he got it off!
What? What a play!
Those are those fast fingers right there.
Yeah, no more internet issues either. Dude, that was huge.
Yeah, I thought for sure he wouldn't get the reactions to a smoked axe call, but
don't you just
he was paying attention.
Isn't that just the play where you like silence first?
I don't. Was he close enough? I
he might not have been
there, and the axe. I thought they were enough, and honestly, from their shoes, they probably thought that was a free kill. So that was a really good play by Yamsun there. Quick reflexes.
Yeah, very nicely played for sure, and almost has that Manta done now as well. Ryoya still hanging out in the jungle, trying to farm this up. They go back in for the Roche again, and AA spotted this. I mean, they know they see him. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So heads up play again by Black and Yellow. You can tell that, like, you know, the bEE's really want to make this happen, and you know they're not overcommitting and going into a bad fight afterwards, but they keep on checking if they can get a freebie.
Yeah.
And Black and Yellow aren't giving it to them.
Well, what is, I think, the most important thing for Black and Yellow is online now, and that is Flea's Blink Dagger. He has been showing game after game that he is the playmaker for the team, and once he gets this Blink Dagger, like on his Lion, he made it happen. So all eyes on Flea for me now, and seeing what can he do with this Blink Dagger.
It's going to be a thing to watch for sure. Manta going through dangerous territory right now. And Yamsun wisely going to send it to the north as Jubei, potentially a free kill right here, as tries to TP out. Nothing to break it. Okay. Able to live. Wait, did they TP all the way back home for him? They did. So they still could go back in with this Ice Blast if they want to. Do they have an opening here? Jump, Abba, toss, stomp afterwards, waiting for it. Silence, great play. While the taunt comes out afterwards, trying to bring him down. They get Yamsun. He falls. Esk has to get away from there, but he didn't manage. Oh, the exorcism is out now, and that went from good to really bad. No Doom used, and they ended up punishing, but They do go for the Avatos play on the Moon. Not enough for the kill. Z-Freak right on top of as well. They don't have a Blink Dagger yet for Zero, and this is just going to be a Roche for him.
Yeah, Roche is 100% dead. I'll do a little harass with Ice Blast, but at the end of the day, they'll shrug it off. I don't like the decision of Zero holding his Doom there. I feel like he should have just used it, so Death Prophet couldn't get the silence off, couldn't get all the spells off, and maybe that could have saved Yamsun if he doomed him a bit earlier, or put him in a better position. You can see he's a little shaky. He doesn't know what to do against this Oracle right now, his Doom.
Yeah, it's tough. It's not an easy matchup, and you just sort of, without having that vision down and like being able to see him at the start of fight, things become really tough. But well, they see Z-Freak now. They've got some good vision back behind. This could be an interesting fight for them since they still have Doom and no Exos up. Ice Blast. Can they find an angle? Zero trying to hang out here. I mean, Esk is down bottom, so it doesn't look like they really want to fight this, but they're just trying to keep their tower alive on the side of black and yellow, I guess. What do you want to see out of the bEE's with this Aegis?
They're gonna wait for Exo. I'd like to see, like, during the course of this Aegis, to get the tier 2 top and get the outpost and just kind of control that land, but not trade bottom as a result. So whatever it takes for them to be able to get this bottom lane, like, not pressured by Morphling hitting it, which I don't think he can do against Axe. They'll just TP and Envy, but I'd like for them to get a tier 2 with their next Exo.
Okay. Do you feel like this is the type of draft for the bEE's that like becomes difficult to play in the later stages at all, or do you think that they're just going to be able to scale pretty well regardless?
They scale really well in this game. So with the Oracle vs AA matchup, it takes out like that instant burst on your frontline hero, which it just becomes very complicated, right, on how you need to take these fights. And so far, it seems bE is like much more comfortable with this complicated situation than black and yellow is. So that's a bit to their advantage here. And I think both teams scale great, but bE might scale better in this particular game. It really comes down to the initiation.
Well, Flea, that's a good initiation from bEE's to find him there. And Mr. King RD, he has been really the player this series, the standout. It feels like him and Moo just making it happen with these heroes, whether it's, you know, staying defensive and being in the perfect position, or it's going out and finding the big kill. They've been able to make it happen.
Yeah, during the panel, I said after that Centaur game, I need someone on their team to start making the plays, and he heard me. Last 2 games, he's maybe didn't find much during the Centaur game, but during his Axe and Legion performances, he's been stepping it up.
20-minute mark now, as again bEE's have Exorcism back up, and they start to head towards this tier 2 tower to take it down. Also sending some of these illusion runes mid to try and pressure that and make sure that they don't lose their tier 1 tower for free. On the side of black and yellow, they have BKB done on this Doom. You're going for the Scotty next on Yamsun. And then the Blink Dagger is online for the Puck as well after going for those Boots of Travel. So understanding what type of game this is for Esk, he needs to be making space and pushing out these side lanes constantly.
Yeah, they've kept the game competitive. This is like, since the tier 2 dropped, that's like the first time it went past 2k gold lead. It's only at 3k, and they're just playing the map. They didn't get a ton out of that Aegis. They were able to get the tier 2 and outpost control, which is good. Flea might be in a little bit of trouble here if they decide to chase, but it looks like bE has no more chasing potential there, and they're going to back it up.
Well, Aegis, about 50 seconds left on it now, as they have been able to take over that outpost. And black and yellow probably going to need that Blink Dagger to come online for Zero if they want to make any type of sort of concerted effort or move over this direction. I think they walk through a ward here together as well as they find him. Esk. Damn,
what a
right on
silence.
top.
Yeah,
Nice
he orbed
play.
in the trees there, but Roya silenced him, and then Envy ate him alive.
I really like this decision by Envy. Like, I feel like so often we've seen him just go for these Battle Fury plays in the late game and try and play that style of Dota. And like seeing him play like super active with his Diffusal Blink, it looks way better.
Yeah, I mean, this is just how you play Ursa now, in my opinion. And
Right.
there's a reason you haven't seen Envy buy Battle Fury in this patch, because I'm sure he's just a firm believer, like most other carries, that Battle Fury carries are just kind of dead.
Yeah. Well, they managed to find that kill onto Esk. Esk buys the tome and says, "This is my thing I'm taking now." Trying to queue up the Aghanim Scepter, so really trying to play around that toss mechanic that you were talking about earlier. If they can make it work together with Flea, almost level 15 on him. But yeah, you're really starting to feel a big difference both in the net worth swing and the XP swing over the last couple of minutes. It's really started to trend in the direction of the bEE's. And Black and Yellow, the fights are tough, but they do have a couple more of the tools to take them now. Double Blink Daggers available. Yamsun, he is what? About 600 gold away from finishing off a Scotty. But it looks like they're wanting to go before that. Smoke breaks. Envy gets away. Looks for more. Finds him. That's an Oracle kill. Is it anything else afterwards, though? Ryoya looks like he is going to escape. Oh, move.
Nah,
We'll
they
end
got
up
him.
on. Yeah.
They're just looking for more. Yeah, they realized that the Aegis was gone, so they wanted to try and make a play. And right attempt. And as usual, you know, position 5, tanking the death, not so bad.
Right. So 10-5. And haven't really been able to connect. I mean, that's the thing that's interesting, is that so often when you see like these blinks on this position 4 Tiny, you'd think about like a 2 to 3 man smoke, or even just like him going with Jubei having Ice Blast ready. But we haven't really seen that many openings for them to find these pickoffs on these other heroes. It's like been big rotations pretty consistently.
It has been pretty big rotations, but they have managed to recover 2k gold deficit by this rotation they made. So
Yeah.
it's still been fairly efficient on what they have been doing. It's not a lot, but they're going to go again. And this time they're going without the Tiny. What Tiny needs to do right now is just show in the middle lane.
Right.
That way, they're like, oh, okay, Tiny's on the map. We can now walk up a little more carefree. And that's how you get the surprise on people.
Thinking about it.
But it looks like they read it anyway, so...
Yeah, and Ryoya. Oh, jump though. Doom. Got him. Caught. Call afterwards. Oh, but he got the morph off. The switch back the other direction. Do they have enough left in the tank? Oracle trying to salvage a couple lives there, but they take down both. Esk able to make it happen. The break will hit there, and meanwhile the chase down continues. King Ao will fall.
Solo killed, huh?
What a huge win that was for Black and Yellow. Like you said, the Tiny showed, and then the rest of Black and Yellow went in on it. Wait, looking for more now. Oh, Z-Freak. Gotta be careful. Jaunts forward, tries to find him, and dead. Yamsun finds another. Huge opening for Black and Yellow here.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again, this Black and Yellow squad. Like, they start off very slow, but if they find this opening, they usually don't let off the gas. So what can the bEE's do to recover from this? That's a tough one. That has to be a pretty hard hit for them, because like they got the false promise off, I think, at the right time, but it was still just too much damage. Even if you get the heals off, the Ice Blast doesn't matter. It's just, if there's enough raw damage, Oracle doesn't heal that much right now.
Right. Well, 10-9. Unfortunately for Black and Yellow, it wasn't an instant spawner rush. Don't know if they could have gone for it anyways. But the bEE's, you know, gonna have to lick their wounds a little bit and try and figure out what to do after this, as they are gonna go check Roche, realize it's not up. Exorcism is available as well, and it's Dagon-esque, so yeah, he's going for these damages. I mean, Fate's Edict is still annoying, but if you can get that silence onto Oracle, I mean, he doesn't have anything to break it right now.
Yeah, I really don't think at this point, I don't know if they have the same read as I have on Black and Yellow, but Ryoya cannot tank this Doom without getting a single Spirit Siphon off.
Right.
Like, he really cannot. Even if the Ice Blast is like not even in the picture, right? So they need to be very careful. He needs to get his spells off before he gets jumped on. and then I think he might be fine. But there is a Scotty in play now, so that'll reduce it during the whole duration.
King Ao looking
If
for
he's
the
being
big
hit.
jump. Ooh, they drop down the ward. They see it. The silence comes out. Great reaction there from the Puck, able to get him away. They didn't get the call they wanted. And now the jump onto Flea immediately catches for the kill. Didn't stand a chance, but he will be back up by the time Roche respawns. So black and yellow, again, getting a little bit lucky with that timing on it, but it is a scary thing.
That was a boss play by Roy. He just walked in there and Viz and got the double silence off for his team. Oh, are they gonna
Coil
commit on him?
trying to drop that one. A little bit awkward because Roche isn't up yet. Now the jump in, Manta, waveform, bushwhack, not going to be on the mark. Now Yemsun tries to back away. The call comes afterwards. Do they have the save? Doesn't look like it. The call is get out of there. Didn't drop the Doom. They back out. And now Roche is going to be back up in 3 seconds. The second Roche so important, and our black and yellow, I mean, without Coil now, oh, it feels so weird. Because they
can't do this, I don't think. It seems too hard without their Morphling, unless he wants to buy Backfist, but this will die really quickly. It is an Ursa lineup.
I
See what they decide.
out. And bEE's,
They're splitting.
Yeah.
They don't want to. One interesting thing, like, this is Z-Freak Hoodwink is very farmed. He has an Aghanims completed now. And like Z-Freak is a position 4 player in general. He doesn't really go for those like defensive items like the Force Staff and the Glimmer Capes. He builds to like carry the game. So if you don't be careful about this Hoodwink, he's gonna start outputting. He already does, but it's gonna get worse. He's going for a Hex next. He's gonna become a big problem.
I mean, is that solo kill potential when he gets the Hex online?
Yeah, absolutely. He can solo kill Morph if he's low HP, if he gets the stun on it. He can solo kill AA at all times. Maybe even Puck, considering how low net worth Puck is this game. He's going for a Dagon build for the burst, but you can see his net worth is the worst of all the cores.
Right. Well, it'll be something to watch for sure. And again, like low kills in terms of the way this game has gone, only 21 so far in the 29 minutes that we've had. But it feels like it's just, you know, you can kind of cut the tension with a knife in a way at this point in time. Aeon Disc is going to be the call for Esk next. Might see a few more of those pop out over the next couple of minutes as well. But having taken that Roche down now, they've got Aegis, Cheese on DP. Who was it that got the shard? It's the Ursa, yeah. So
surely Ursa, right?
Yeah, that's such a great pickup for him. I mean, they haven't really been dooming the Ursa to begin with, though. It's mainly been on Roya anyways.
I don't think they can really doom the Ursa right now until they have a refresher. So Roy is like too much of a problem.
Envy.
If you don't kill him right away.
Esk jumps in trying to find, all right, where's his help at? He just went in solo there like a madman, and they're all going to TP out now.
Yeah,
Obviously.
he understands with his shard and Blinky is very powerful. He'll probably continue to do things like this.
Right. Does not care that much. Esk finding Z-Freak down bottom. TPs are coming in afterwards. Coil is there. Do they go for the finish? Jump forward, hoof stomp, ice blast, Dagon, done. So a nice pick off there. They're calling to go top though. Because the TPs came bottom, they don't have a way to get 0 there. Puck's cooldown, it's off in 5 seconds, but they've already popped Exo for this. So the Doom coming down, he's got to run. 0 is going to take a while to get here. Coil still on cooldown for 45 seconds. Jumps forward, tries to blow this one up. Dagon off cooldown in a second, but they've taken the tier 3 tower. Heads up play there by the bEE's to recognize that opening.
Yeah, that was a really good play. They couldn't get back, and even if they did, the DP... This is the most important part about this DP versus Doom matchup, is she gets her ult off before she gets doomed. Right. And that gave them a really good opportunity to make that happen. So now they're going to be pressured that this top racks, they have no tier 3. They can't leave it exposed anymore.
You can see 4th lowest so far in the TI-10 qualifiers in terms of kills for this game, and it's just because it's been like these mammoth moves by these teams kind of consistently together, and it's still less than 1,000 gold lead. we swing back and forth in this game number 3 decider, lower bracket semifinals. And they've got a lot of the tools online for both of the teams. It definitely feels bad right now for this Puck. His like inability to get things done, but or rather inability to get a ton of farm on him. But I guess that's sort of made up for by the fact that Flea's pretty farmed. He gets the blink away. Nice avalanche TP out.
And the gem. So that item is kind of like, generally speaking, your comeback mechanic, or not really comeback mechanic. It's either if you're Envy's got the basher. Bye Puck. That item allows you to keep more map control, but if you're also behind, it allows you to like get back on the map. So it's good on any occasion, really, and it's nice to see them pick it up.
What do you think about this? Zero's going back for the Ags again.
I think 2 Dooms is more important than the Ags, personally speaking, but it's not bad, but like I think is he just doing it for the duration?
I guess.
Because it's sure if you break Ursa, in theory, it's good. But do you really want to be dooming this Ursa? I feel like that's... We'll see if it works, but it feels like it's kind of hard to doom that hero in this game, while you have a very obvious doom target in this game.
He's queuing up the refresher afterwards, so I mean, there's a chance he might swap it up there and go to the other one first. Also has the ceremonial robe, which is pretty hype. So that will also be a nice part of this.
Yeah, that's a good pickup. Just for the duration, his magic damage. Well, Doom is like pure, but his other spells do a lot of magic damage. Can't be underestimated.
Right. The rest of the team as well. So Aegis, it has expired, and the natural, what we see, smoke gank happening afterwards by Black and Yellow, hoping to find somebody spread out around the map, but it feels like bEE's are very prepped and ready. They ping right where they are, though. Right, backing away and even whipping himself into a frenzy, trying to get out of there. So
yeah, they lost their Aegis there. So what I want to see from this Doom is like, I really want to see him like dooming Envy. If he doesn't have any status resistance on with this Ags, is not bad. It could be really good if you can kill him immediately. But I'd like to see him get the refresher, just doom the DP, and then to pump fake it on Envy and make him like force him to use his enrage.
Nice. Yeah.
And then try to use it a little bit later in an extended fight. So.
Ooh.
We'll see. Oh, Esk.
He got caught. Wait, Aeon Disc afterwards. Doom there on a DP, didn't get anything off at all. Dead, done, dusted.
Oh, Flea's controlling the Oracle.
Can they find any more afterwards? Really good play by Flea, able to get him, and now they're just kiting Envy. Yamson gonna waveform out of there. The turn, the BKB, TP trying to get out, will be able to. But now King Owl also getting chased down as they want to find this finish on a Z-Freak. A great combination comes out there. And Esk able to make it happen. Did he even have to buy back in that one, or did he get away? I think he got out.
He had Aeon Disc, so he survived. Damn. It's so hard to kill a Puck with Aeon Disc. So, yeah, if he didn't have that Aeon Disc, he was dead to rights there. And, yeah, Flea did a really good job that game. That fight. He controlled the Oracles, and they just, like, doomed the DP, and no Oracle spells came out. That's what they were missing the last game, right? Yeah. Something to control that Oracle, and they really picked it up in this one. So, they may have won that fight, but these fights have to be under vision, like it was, right. And they're not easy, so can they do that again? They kind of have to, but I don't think it's like a clear win for Black and Yellow after even getting a fight like that.
For sure. I mean, and I think that that's something that's like worth talking about some more too, is just like how important the patience is, right? If you're going to draft this type of lineup for Black and Yellow against what the bEE's have, you have to take the perfect fight. It has to, like, you have to find the Oracle. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And they find Royoya down bottom, completely alone. Unbelievable. Black and Yellow keep on making this happen. And, you know, call it what you will about him being out of position, but they took advantage.
Yeah, both of those are true.
Oh, big call there. catching him right on top of some vision now. Tries to find it for Staff. Fuel Scepter living for the moment. Envy getting kited yet again. Don't have Doom for 20 seconds. Yamsun trying to waveform out in just a moment. Needs to be careful about the bash. The bushwhack pulls him back in, trying to live through it. Does he have a way out?
No
mana. No chance. He's dead. Envy gets saved at the last second. Now the turnaround. Now looking for a chase, looking for a call. Will he find it? Yes, indeed. Avalanche toss, but nothing else afterwards. As black and yellow overextend, get punished in a big way. Now Flea, Yules has to get himself out of here though. Has that gem still, and goes for the blink TP out. As Esk still playing around this area, but a little bit of an overextension there from black and yellow.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to Doom there, actually? Because, like, that fight was just completely 4 versus 5. And they blew up the Oracle. Great buyback by Mooj to get the false promise on Envy, or he would have died there. And, yeah, that fight looked so good for black and yellow. At the first, I was like, they're going to wipe this, but Envy ended up burning all the mana off the Morphling, and he couldn't waveform out. Yeah, once they killed Yamsun, they were out of gas. Same with the Doom.
Right.
I didn't see what happened to the Doom there. Like, how did he die? Did he just get jumped and just immediately deleted?
I mean, I think that he was in there right on top of the Ursa as well. So I think Ursa killed him first maybe, and then swapped over afterwards. Something like that. The thing that's crazy about that is that starts with, the kill or almost kill happening on Flea because he's dewarding. He's freaking tiny, and his, like, attack animation is so terrible.
Yeah.
So unfortunate situation in that regard as Envy will disconnect. The other thing there, I guess, Yamsun maybe pushing it a little bit close to the edge. Like, I felt like he might have had waveform to get out of there, but I'm not positive.
He did, but he waveformed in, but by the time it was up again, because he waveformed in with BKB, he got a bushwhack into the face, and that was really good by Z-Freak. And by the time he got unstunned, Envy already drained all his mana, and no BKB up, so...
Well,
really good fight for the bEE's there.
38 minutes, and we have that next tier of items waiting to come out now for black and yellow. They've been able to get them on the bEE's. What did they get out of this one, actually? So they were able to find themselves Telescope, Spell Prism, the Minotaur Horn, and Ninja Gear. And so far, just Ninja Gear on black and yellow. Probably want to get out and get those next items before the next fight, most likely. And Roche is back up. Oh man, Roche is back up.
I know how Telescope is good on Oracle, but I think Ninja Gear is way better.
Yeah.
So he might want to pick up the Ninja Gear on the Oracle. That way, whatever happened last fight, he has no buyback now, because last fight he used it to win the team fight, which is good. But Ninja Gear gives you such good, like, map positioning. They can't find you. It's almost always off cooldown. So we'll see if he takes it or not. And I'd like to see Z-Freak just hold the Telescope for the team, and Envy can do the Minotaur Horn.
Yeah.
But and as you said, like, for the other team, they don't have a lot going on now. Just the Ninja Gear, which I don't know, is that a Flea or a Doom item? So that item like has just turned it. It gives you agility, right, and move speed, but people only use it on initiators. No one uses it for the agility.
Dude, this is wild. It's such a fast Roche too. They're not going to get here in time. Unbelievable. Oh man.
I don't think Ags is really good on Ursa, but he'll take it anyway. I guess the cooldown is reduced, which is good, but if you're silenced or doomed, you can't pop it. So
right.
There's not a lot of like stuns, hard stuns that he can actually use that passive for, but it does reduce the cooldown. So that's good too.
We got a flicker on Yamsun. That item is so good. And then the other thing, fighting underneath this ward again, Envy is there. Now they do have double Doom. They bought the refresher out. Ninja Gear walks forward, thinking about it. Zero looking for that backline, trying to find somebody. Who do they get? Royoya gets caught. He didn't get anything off again. The chase down. The save is there afterwards, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. They're just hiding away from Envy. He's not doing anything in this fight. As they try and get the chase down, they get Royoya done. Zero, second round of Doom, didn't get in rage off. Literally no spells were cast by the carrier of the mid. Jubei is gonna die now, but they burn through the Aegis, and everybody else needs to just back the hell out of there. Double buybacks. Esk Will he end up falling? Has the jump up to the high ground, the jaunt away, tries to go. Good call. Great play from King Ao.
And the predicted sharpshooter there too. That was great. That was 2 buybacks though. Flea's gonna cut the wave, but they still have a wave mid. What remains of it? And a glyph. What can they do with this? Top barracks perhaps with no puck buy? And no double doom.
Yeah. Don't even have single doom.
Yeah.
Okay. So the bEE's will manage to take open a nice little round here and potentially 2 racks.
There's no Oracle though, so they could burst someone here. With the Ice Blast. Oh, what a silence.
Really well played there. Goes out the boomerang afterwards. Tier 3 tower taking some damage. King Ao pops the cheese. Envy hanging out. Roya still has cheese. Do they want to go for any more afterwards? It's scary. The call, Jube, he just walked forward with the toss back. Nicely played. Can he survive though? 4-staff sharpshooter comes through. That's the kill. Now he buys back, looking for more afterwards. They're still keeping this melee racks alive. Eternal Envy pops the ninja gear, ready to jump, finds him on the morph. BKB out afterwards, able to dodge away from the call from King RD. Silenced for a bit, trying to hold out. Puck is back up in 15 seconds. Oracle also right there behind him, ready to go in a moment's notice. Toss, back to the tier 4s. Envy, BKB, jump forward, call, the taunt is there. Do they have Doom? Do they have anything? They're looking for it. 28 seconds is all that they need. Wait for him through the great call afterwards by virtue of the morph by Yamson. Hits a bully though. Has to buy back. Buy back also on Fleet. Gem on the ground. Doom 18 seconds away. They jumped onto Moo, almost able to kill him. Envy dropping down low. They gotta keep Yamson alive. What a Yule Scepter. Saves him again. Envy pops the enrage, turns to fight. Didn't get a hit. Flea blinked out. Knows the flicker. Nice play there afterwards. Flea wants to keep this fight going. They almost have double Doom back up. Get it there onto the DP, but they need to blow it up. Oracle in the area, able to save for the moment, but is it going to be long enough? King RD is going to fall. Now looking for more. The Dagon out. They blow up Roya, chase forward, find themselves the Oracle. He too will fall. So they take down 3 and no buyback on DP, but they did lose that whole set of racks. What a wild fight.
Yeah, they lost 2 sets there, but now it's their turn to strike, but Axe does have buyback. So what happened? Yamson went in there and called him, but died immediately after the call? Wow, that was wild. Let's see what they can do here with like no buybacks on 2 heroes. It's their turn to assault now, but they need to be careful. They're going to have no buyback on anyone but Doom for this push. Whereas Envy can bait his buyback and Axe has buyback available.
Big potential plays. Flea also buys an E-Blade now to try and save his team. Yamsun walks forward. Start 4-staff and creeps. Get him here. You got to break back door. Don't even care about the creeps hitting the tier 4 towers, which are like about to die. Oh man, dodges the sharpshooter. 60 seconds, no death profit. They take these buildings so quickly. What are they going to go for?
They're going to wait for Axe probably, and then they can't throne. They're going to wait for Axe, and Envy will probably try to use his buyback to bait a good fight here.
Now the jump. Whoa, what? Jube dead. That was his dieback. What a freaking pickoff by Envy. Comes in and takes down his mortal enemy. Unreal.
That was like an instant death. They're mass TPing to the outpost here.
Looking for stragglers. Esk has the Aeon disc. The taunt is there. The call. Taunted, needs to get out, jumps, tries to escape, blink away, and will be able to get out of there. Flea even going to toss his buddy out of there. So, yeah, Jube still dead for 40 seconds. We'll have to watch it.
Yeah, Roya's coming back up with travels. So, are they going to go for the W here? Are they going to play it a little bit more conservative? We will see.
I mean, in these games, it always feels like Envy just sort of wants to wait for that next tier, but I guess that's also like hero dependent to some extent. I don't know. Do you think that there's like do you need to be playing super aggro right now? Like, is there anything that you're really worried about as this game goes later, or do you still feel very strong on the bEE's?
I think knowing this team, they'll play it a bit more conservative just because they're looking at their conditions. They have no buyback on the DP, nor do they have buyback on Oracle, or their Hoodwink.
Right.
But if they want to be a bit more aggressive, this Morphling has no buyback, and they know that. So
Right.
that's an obvious win condition. So it's a TI qualifier, loser goes home, probably play it safe and wait for their buybacks. They probably feel like they're winning the game here as well. Up a set of racks, and they are up 10k gold, so maybe they're going to wait for next Roche. I think Roche is super important whenever you play versus Doombringer. Doombringer hates buybacks and Roshan.
Right.
Yeah, he also hates Lotus Orbs and Lincolns, but there doesn't seem to be any Lotus Orbs on.
He seems to hate a lot of things. King Ao does have the Lincolns now, so he can
Yeah,
talk
I'm a
about
filthy
that.
Doom spammer, so I know exactly what he hates. And Lotus Orb is actually a really undervalued one,
Right.
especially when you have this refresher. Throw it on Roya, and then all of a sudden Doom's like,
Took a bite, and now I'm filled up. I don't know where you are tonight. 'Cause you're right, I've been starving and now I don't know what to do tonight. But I've been feeling like pretty easy to like when your body is closer to mine.
For us here, we're going to head on back to the panel to break down all the action as we now know the final 3 teams less than the NA TI10 qualifiers. It's been a hell of a ride, but still more to come in just a few. For now, we're going to go to a quick break. See y'all on the other side of it.
tint to my scars. Can you show me how? Can you love me without your flaws? 'Cause I'm coming out. I just wanna come alive.
Top 3 has been decided. We have Undying for Zoomers, and now Bumble bEE's taking it 2-1 over Black and Yellow. This was like one of the big rivalries in this tournament, outside of Undying and for Zoomers, of course, who are frequently considered the top of this tournament. But Bumble bEE's did really well, and they also had the penalty, so they came in at a disadvantage. Gentlemen, how did they pull this off? What did they do that was so game winning?
I feel like there were so many opportunities in that game for it to like go the way of Black and Yellow, and in the end it was like them kind of feeling it and wanting to make that final push. Like there were so many great fights from them where they fight underneath the vision. They're able to take the fight, win it afterwards. But then it was Bumble bEE's recognizing, hey, if we just sort of play a little bit more defensively and let them come to us, we can sort of react then and make these other types of plays. So I think that it was like understanding what that win condition was for Black and Yellow and then shutting them out of it, not allowing them to make the play that they needed to make. It's like sort of denying them the play.
Fear, did you have anything to add to that?
I just think overall they found what was working for them, and then they stuck with it. And against a team like Black and Yellow, they just didn't have response to this Oracle plus DP. They tried. They're improving every time they play against it, but this isn't a best of 5. It's a best of 3. They don't have another chance. They just couldn't adapt to it quick enough.
Do you think that the response then should have been to just ban out the Oracle?
I think if you wanted AA again, you probably should have thought about banning the Oracle, or just maybe not taken the AA again, but it was still a very close series, and they had their moments to win the game, so it was enjoyable to watch nonetheless.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of those anime redemption arcs, because Black and Yellow did send Bumble bEE's down to the lower bracket, and Bumble bEE's got their revenge in the end. And now we will have the opportunity to talk with one of the members of Bumble bEE's, Ryoya. Hello. Congratulations. Grand finals, top 3. I'm sorry, not grand finals. Lower bracket finals, top 3. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. We're top 3. We made it to the final day, and yeah.
So tell me, when you were going into game 3, your team came in at a little bit of a disadvantage due to the penalty. You had 20 seconds left to draft. How did that affect the team's morale? And if it did at all, how did you pull yourselves back up and get through that draft?
When we heard we had the draft penalty, it was like whatever, like you can't change it at that point. So we just had to we basically went through all the variations that we thought might happen, and then they ended up not changing anything. So we already had our plan. The draft was pretty easy. We already knew what we were doing from game 1.
Interesting. So I guess one of the things that the panelists were talking about was that they saw a little bit of the same, but it ended up working out for you. So good job on those last 2 games. Lyrical and Fear, did you have any questions?
Yeah, Rhea, first of all, congratulations at the finals day. It's going to be exciting to watch you guys play against the Zoomers next up. I guess one of the things that I'm sort of wondering about here is, like, you went into that last round of games, and it felt like, you know, you've played a lot of sort of the similar people. You played Black and Yellow twice. You played Simply Two Based. You haven't gotten to take a shot yet at the Four Zoomers or Undying. And when I think about your guys' team, it often feels like no offense here, but you could either like bomb out or like win the qualifier. And sometimes there isn't a ton that like falls in between that. Do you feel like you guys are on form right now to be able to take this? How's the team feeling about your guys' play?
I think we're a relatively new team. We didn't have like a lot of time to practice, and NA teams, they don't really scrim that much. We only scrimmed like one team almost for the entire qualifier practice. And yeah, I mean the upper bracket, the lower bracket, like all these games they're basically scripts. And I think we basically know how we want to play and how what what style of play suits us the best. And yeah, I think we have a decent chance.
Cool. Fear?
Yeah, sure. On that note, I guess, like, what do you guys plan on doing going in tomorrow to prepare for your matches? Anything special? Are you gonna watch replays? I know it's getting pretty late, or you guys already know what you want to do and you're just gonna go in and try and do it.
I think most people are probably going to go to sleep. There's some people who sleep pretty early, and we'll probably wake up like maybe 2 hours before the match, and we'll basically prep the draft. And I think that's about all the preparation there is. You can't really go in pub and like practice new heroes at this point. You just play what you play, and yeah, that's it.
So, do you have anything to say? Because Bumblebee's had some messages for you on the first day, and then they said, "Oh, Jube said I take it back." Do you have anything to say to them, or do you have anything to say to your fans or your next match for Zoomers?
I actually didn't watch the Jube interview, but I feel like some hostile things might have been said. But I think a lot of I don't actually have any like beef with any of them. I still talk to Jube. I still talk to Yamsa and Zero. Like we're still good friends. So on that note, I don't really have anything to say.
Not even GG though. All right. Do you have anything
We
to say
said
to
that
your
too.
fans? There are a lot of people who are supporters of Bumblebees. Did you have anything to say to them as well?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank them for their support as always, and we'll try our best tomorrow to close out the qualifiers.
Awesome. Good luck tomorrow. You have potential 2 matches. We'll see how that goes. Good luck.
Thank you.
Man, Sumi out here, she looks all nice, and then she comes in. I heard they were talking mess about you. I heard they were saying some bad things. What do you have to say to them, huh?
Hey, man,
Unbelievable.
if they're going to say something, I want to give the other side a chance to clap back.
That's fair.
You have to give them their chance. They did fantastic today. They did a lot. They deserve this win. They deserve the chance to say something back, or maybe say something to 4 Zoomers. I was hoping for something like, yeah, I'm coming for you guys, but that didn't actually happen. So I guess I'll just have to have to hold that, deal with it. But tomorrow today's done, but tomorrow we have a lot of stuff going on. Let's take a look at the bracket. So we have a lot of teams that went home today. A lot, and it's very unfortunate, but there can only be one. And tomorrow we will have 2 great matches. We will have the lower bracket final between 4 Zoomers and bumblebEE's, and the winner of that will go on to face Undying for the qualification for TI-10. Do you have the night before predictions, gentlemen? Who do you see taking it?
It's so hard to not say Undying. There's part of me that like we kind of there was like this belief that I think that a lot of people had of like, okay, maybe bumblebEE's can pull this through and like do it in the end, and I feel like they have been getting stronger, but I still just gotta say Undying over them. I think that bumblebEE's might beat Zoomers though, and if they do, I personally think that the bumblebEE's have a better chance of being Undying than Zoomers do. That's the other prediction that I'll say.
Fear?
Yeah, I was gonna say something similar. Well, I think Undying, I don't think they've really even dropped a game yet, right? So
Let's see,
they're
2-0,
looking strong.
2-0, 2-0. They have
Yeah.
all 2-0s.
They're looking good, and I think they're gonna win it. I think it's a very high chance of them winning it, in my opinion. I think Zoomers versus Bumblebees, I will slightly favor Zoomers, but if Bumblebees were to beat Zoomers, I'm with Lyrical on the fact that Bumblebees have a better chance than Zoomers to beat Undying, just because, like Roy said, they're a new team and they're coming up with like new strategies on the go, and like this Oracle plus DP after all of Envy's heroes got banned out, something that's working for them. Maybe they'll start banning the DP or the Oracle now, but now Envy's going to be able to get his Terrorblade again really early. It sets a new dynamic that teams have yet to have to figure out, like that puzzle.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the insight. And I just want to give a big thank you to both of you as well, taking us through some amazing series this tournament, Lyrical and Fear. Check out their social medias. Oh, mirrored that way. And give them a follow, and, you know, just be on the lookout for a lot more Dota stuff from both of them. That concludes our broadcast today, but guess what? We still have another region going on today. We have SEA finishing out their lower bracket finals and grand finals on twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit. No number after that, just Beyond the Summit. But until tomorrow, NA will sleep. So good night, everybody, and watch more Dota.
Can you see me shaking? Hear the sound of my heart breaking. Bless the soul that's aching, hoping I survive. The feeling lingers on every day of every month, wishing I just could forget about you. The weight upon my bones makes it harder to move on. Oh baby, don't think that I'll ever forgive myself for losing you, or for losing you. Left our love up on those dusty shelves. Can't forgive myself for losing you. Only thought that we were foolish, not that we were cruel enough to do it. Now I feel so stupid. Don't you feel that too? The feeling lingers on every day of every month, wishing I just could forget about you. The weight upon my bones makes it harder to move on. Oh baby, don't think that I'll ever forgive myself for losing you, or for losing you. Left our love up on those dusty shelves. Can't forgive myself You show me how to dance love. So tell me what you're thinking You show me how to dance love. So tell me what you're thinking You show me how to dance love. So tell me what you're thinking